Yeah, you could take your
Probably.
kids to see it. Well, let's be honest, like.
Oh shoot, hang on. Wait,
Two marker.
Well, we had to reshoot that. All right, what's going on, guys? Happy holidays from us at Alamo City Movie Talk. As always, I am your host, Ryan D. Ryan 680.
I'm Kristen from the Nerd Coliseum.
Hey, I'm Frankie.
Angela from the Kelly
And this is Lex.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And happy Sunday. Once again, happy holidays. And first and foremost, guys, I do want to acknowledge and thank. We are so thankful. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts we just hit 14,000 subscribers. This is huge. This is big for us. And thank you guys so much. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for talking movies with us. We love talking movies with every single one of you guys. And by all means, always comments down below. And if you do comment on this live video, by the way, guys, we'll be addressing the comments towards the end of the show, the end of the segment and everything. But yeah, without further ado, we are talking about the best Christmas movie ever. Huge debate here. That we're going to be talking about here, and it's just I gotta say it's gonna be a few arguments, maybe a few fist fights.
Very un-Christmas-like behavior.
Yeah, there already was an argument earlier off camera, which we're like, we got to save it for the show. But yeah, definitely, it's definitely going to be an intense show here. Hopefully, right? Hopefully, yeah.
All right, in a good way.
No, I wanted to take. Kristen already doesn't like me because I don't like music. I didn't like Wicked.
You don't like Wicked. Who doesn't like Wicked?
Oh God, here we go.
Anyways, that's another episode.
That's another. We're gonna best musical.
So the way we're going to do it today is we're going to kind of combine what we do on the Nerd Coliseum, which is when we bring in these movies all together and we have them combat each other with different categories. So what we have done today is each of us have chosen our favorite Christmas movie. Or second favorite, because I stole Ryan's favorite.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that.
But we've each chosen our favorite Christmas movie, and what we have a little spinning wheel of chance that has about 11 different categories on it. So we're going to spin this wheel, and whatever 3 categories comes up, that's how we're going to kind of battle our movies out and see which movie comes out on top. So why don't we start with introducing our movies? So my favorite Christmas movie is Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's everything I want in a Christmas movie. I like magic. I like unreal, I I don't like reality in my Christmas movies. I like literal Christmas magic. So a society that lives inside of a snowflake, like how could you get more just obscure and magical than that? So How the Grinch Stole Christmas is my top movie. So Frankie, what you got?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So my pick for this is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. For me and my family, and now for you.
Yeah.
This is,
and that was another stolen pick, by the way. Another.
There's only so many Christmas movies, and a lot of them, they tend to be pretty good. Like this one, like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, it's been a family tradition to watch this one for many, many years, since I could remember when I was young. So it's goofy. It's got all the craziness that goes with it. It's a little bit more on the serious, or not serious side, but more like realistic side. It pushes the boundaries, but it's John Hughes written. And so to me, it's got that 80s John Hughes magic to it.
Hi, I'm Angela. My favorite Christmas movie for this is going to be Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a super powerhouse. It doubles as a Halloween and Christmas movie. It has musical. I love this like stop motion animation. It's just fantastic. It's such a classic.
Yeah. So my first pick was Jim Carrey's, The Grinch Stole Christmas. My second one is, it fluctuates, right? Because different time of period. I'm 31 years old. When I was a kid, it was Home Alone 1 or 2. One of those. As growing up and everything, it was always one of those two movies. And then teenage years, it was just like Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And then now as an adult, it's become, I've really liked, and I really want to emphasize on this. I really like movies that show human flaws in a way to where like it's genuine. There's love everywhere. And I feel like with Love Actually, that's my pick. It's a Christmas movie. Yes. It's one of the British Christmas films. And I got to say, there's so much of a love, beautiful message in every aspect. And it just, whether you're in the time of your life where you're just struggling, whether you're in the time of your life where everything's fantastic and happy and you got that job promotion, you got something happening in your life, whether it's good or bad. I feel like that in this film you see the realism behind it, and I really do enjoy that, because it doesn't matter if whether you're the bottom, in your point of opinion that you're in the bottom point of your life, that there's still love everywhere. There's still that glory, love and everything. And so I really enjoy that movie. And Hugh Grant's dancing is always great in that film. And I just
You've got a Hugh Grant thing going on. I'm not gonna on this Hugh Grant.
I enjoy Hugh Grant's even Billy Bobby Thornton's in there as well as the president, which I thought was really, really kind of quirky a little bit. Funny. It's funny seeing that. It's just we're real human flaws coming together, and I've always loved that in any film, right? I guess I'm drawn towards that. I love seeing that realism, and I love the fact that despite that you don't have any money, there's still love. No one's gonna take that from you. No one's gonna take your your soul and everything. So I really do enjoy that. It's very tender to my heart. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But
it's strong.
My pick is not that deep. It's a movie that I truly love, and it is my favorite Christmas movie personally. When the guys they pitched this idea and this concept for the podcast, I was like, I absolutely know which one is my favorite, and I think it's the best. But I know, at least this is what I said, is like I don't think I can make the argument for being the best. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I mean, I have a lot of things to say to prove that it's obviously very subjective, but at least to be able to debate that it is the best Christmas movie, and that is Elf by Jon Favreau, and of course titular Will Ferrell. And I just really love the duality of this movie, because it puts you in the point of view of someone was raised in this like super loving land, right, that wasn't supposed to be raised in that world. So the movie questions like what happens when that person comes and joins the dullness that real life is, right? And so I really love that already sets the scene for a really important Christmas message. And of course the movie's like funky and it's ridiculous, and Will Ferrell as an elf, like it's an insane concept, but it works in so many levels. There's singing, there's the Christmas spirit, and like I said, the most important thing for me is like especially the more like as an adult, I appreciate it more because I see the dullness that the movie was trying to like capture of like, working corporate jobs, not really believing in Christmas. You maybe profit off of Christmas, but you're not like in the spirit. Like as an adult, that hits even harder. And so I've learned to appreciate the movie more and more as I age. And even as a kid, like it just had everything there for me too. Like the laughs when he gets run over by like a taxi. And we'll talk about this too. Like, it takes place in New York, and Christmas in New York has been sold by many forms of media and, multiple times. And we'll get more into that, but just, I think that was the right setting for it. And so it has a little bit of everything. We'll get more into it, but that is my pick.
Will Ferrell was such a method actor for that movie that he actually went through elf training to learn how to make toys.
That's
just
pretty
cool.
Damn. That's just
so
the
deep
type
for
of
that
guy.
movie.
Exactly. So, I mean, Oscar like Oscar
snub.
Oscar snub.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. No. I don't know.
I mean, Jared Leto does method acting. He
I
wins
know,
all this
right?
attention. Why didn't Will
Why not
Ferrell
Will
learn
Ferrell?
to
I
build
know.
toys? All right, so are we ready to see what our first category is going to be?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so here we go. Even has a little sound effect.
No, I like that song.
Our first category is going to be, it's going to be box office scores.
Okay.
Oh.
This makes it short and easy. Then you.
This is a quick category,
Yeah.
so we might do an extra one.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Is this
if you don't know already, go ahead and take a look at your box office scores.
is it
Let's-
question?
Yes.
Are we factoring in budget as well, or just straight up?
Yeah, so let's
Okay.
do it by gross. So
So domestic,
how
right?
much, How
Domestic or
worldwide?
worldwide?
Gross.
Okay,
so
so
we're looking at worldwide gross
Yeah.
income
All right. So I've got gross worldwide.
profit for that movie. So I will go. I already have mine pulled up, so I will go ahead and start with mine. So, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey did $260 million domestically, $85 million in other territories, and grossed $345.1 million. It was the sixth highest grossing film in the year 2000. So I'm at $345.1 million.
damn.
That's
But what was the budget or
Highest growth.
Let's see.
that's pretty.
I think Wikipedia has a high. Okay, I should be able to rely on this, right? It's like highest grossing Christmas film.
Budget was $123 million for The Grinch.
Okay.
So it basically almost tripled. It did triple its income.
Oh.
Interesting.
nice.
All right. So how did Christmas Vacation do?
All right, so Christmas Vacation, obviously it came out in 1989, so it's a
A
little
bit different.
little bit of a different
Little bit
box
different.
office time frame. So this one is considerably lower than The Grinch. This one is gross worldwide. It's $74.5 million, and it had a budget of like $28 million.
Dang.
That's a really low
pretty-
budget.
Yeah, it's a pretty low budget.
So it was considerably low budget, gross worldwide. I don't know. This is all coming from IMDb. I would say because they re-release this movie every year, and
A
they
few
probably do that
times,
for
right?
they
Yeah.
do that for all these
I
movies.
know the Draft House does it too. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I wonder how often IMDb like keeps tracks of the re-releases, or was this just the initial gross
Probably-
worldwide release?
Probably just the initial.
Yeah.
I don't think
So
they can
Well,
it might be-
that's why I went ahead and looked at all time like gross.
Mm-hmm.
I found a good list on Wikipedia. I can try and see if I find that it's the family vacation right one. I'm not even.
So
seeing
how
it.
did,
Oh yeah, I found it.
You found it?
So
Okay.
what number did you
I had
have?
$74.5 million for gross worldwide on IMDb.
Oh, this shows 71.
Oh, yours.
something may
I
be
want to
off.
stick to yours.
Who
Let's-
trusts Wikipedia?
Yeah, let's get the best.
All right. How did I feel like The Nightmare Before Christmas did really well.
It did. So Wikipedia listed the budget as 24 million.
Okay.
Okay.
But it said
Which is kind of a
domestically
lot for that.
it
Kind of
Yeah.
made 87 million, and then worldwide it made 101 million.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
That's
good for a
really-
1993 film. Yeah,
That's
really
For
good.
stop motion, that's pretty good.
So far, still The Grinch is in the lead.
Wait,
How about
Well, how much was the Grinch?
345 million?
dang, that's a
Yeah, so I don't know what Wikipedia is doing. I'm not gonna lie. The Wikipedia has Grinch as top, so I don't know if anyone's gonna beat it.
Well, you know, how did Love Actually do?
So all right, guys. All right,
million.
ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Love Actually, you know, the budget for Love Actually is surprisingly very low. It's only $40 million.
That's not low.
That's actually pretty low
That's
for the way the movie, you know,
Elf
like,
was
that was
lower.
probably
that
that was
Oscar
probably
so
the salaries
domestic-
just for all those.
Yeah, I
people
know,
out
Yeah.
there.
right? Yeah,
So
100%.
Yeah,
domestically, it didn't make that much here, obviously, because it's a British film. It only made 60 million. Internationally, though, it made 188, which brings it a total of $250 million
That's way higher.
for
than I
for a
That's
$40
pretty
million
good. Yeah.
movie.
That is way higher than I thought it was going to
that
be.
made
actually.
money. That
So,
made money. So
That was
that-
pretty good.
yeah.
So
But
like
again,
200
made
million gross, kind of, or like net.
So it was like,
worldwide.
Yeah. So,
it's
but
two-
yeah, so if it was a 40 million budget, 249 million. So that's like a.
Oh, I'm sorry,
209
249. Sorry,
net.
249 million.
Still, that's really good.
yeah.
So far, Love Actually is in second place.
Yeah. Which it does, because it does say right here it was re-released in January 2020 and then re-released this past year, from December 4th to November 24th to December 8th, and then it was released again November 26th to 23rd, previous 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
they re-released it.
Right.
So-
That movie came out swinging with that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the cast
Yeah.
is pretty.
Well, I
pretty
think the
protected.
cast,
Yeah.
the cast alone
Yeah.
is what sells that movie.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. And it's still
And they've all gone to do like a lot.
Yeah, because they had Alan Rickman, Hugh Grant,
yeah.
Liam Neeson,
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
Neeson,
Like,
yeah.
good lord.
Yeah.
Emma
Okay.
Thompson. Yeah.
I feel like
Emma
Elf
Thompson.
has got to be pretty high.
It is. Not as high as the Grinch. Higher than. I'm surprised at some of these. Okay. Anyways, so Elf had a budget of 33 million, relatively low. I
That's.
think that's
I thought
fair.
it would be
That's
over
fair.
100.
And the initial gross that I had found, but I think this was like early on, like when it came out.
Yeah.
It was 177 box office, but I think that was also domestic. So I did end up finding that the gross total worldwide or whatnot, it's listed at around 225 million.
Jeez.
Oh, okay.
Now on this same source though, it says that the Grinch, the one with Jim Carrey, is 526. So
Okay.
that for sure, like that's number one on this list. Elf is listed as 9th, so top 10. And
Yeah.
it is exclusively Christmas movies.
So
So-
526 is what I have before you take out the budget. When you take out the budget.
Oh, okay. So maybe this isn't gross.
So-
they
so
have it
the-
listed as highest grossing Christmas film.
Oh, okay.
How much is it worldwide?
Elf?
Yeah.
225.
Okay, on here on Mojo box office it's 228.
So
Well,
it's in the same ballpark.
It is
Yeah.
it is the 20th anniversary of Elf 2. So
Mm.
I'm actually gonna watch it on Tuesday.
That's
And
true.
y'all can add $30 to that because, like, my wife got tickets.
$30. Okay.
Well, no, but you think about it, the 20th year anniversary. There's going to be another theater run, so
Yeah.
that probably
So
tacks onto that. You know, but
So
Yeah.
it's been re-released since 2018. It's been re-released every single year.
yeah, so
Every single year
And-
around November 2nd, around that right before Christmas. It just got re-released again December 1st, and it doesn't have it's still making money. It's almost making another $1 million. It looks like it might hit that before the end of the year. But it's at 797, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah.
I don't think that many people are, because it's not like
Yeah,
an official
it's not
re-release.
insane.
Yeah,
I guess in a way.
just the
Yeah.
theatrical release. This doesn't take into consideration how many times these movies
Oh
play
yeah,
on
the
TV,
DVD,
Yeah.
you know, and streaming
DVDs.
Yeah.
services
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So this is only just what was in
For
the theater.
for a long time,
Yeah.
Elf was really tough to. And I come from like a streaming world background. Used to work at Hulu and all that stuff. For a long time, Elf was really hard to find on streaming platforms. Like it just either wasn't loaning itself to being on streaming. It started in 2015 to actually be like streamed somewhere,
Oh, that's
Okay.
crazy.
but it was always hard. So I just ended like I bought the DVD and I'm like that's just the way to watch it for the most part. But obviously, you know, when you factor in, I mean, the Grinch is totally killer. But what was the budget for that again?
It was
that like
123 million.
120.
That's still, if you have
It's relative,
500
but-
whatever
Well,
million.
speaking of streaming, the Grinch isn't streaming on anything. We
Yeah,
had to
the
buy
Grinch
it.
doesn't.
We had to buy it
that
on
was
Amazon.
one of the movies we had to buy
Yeah,
this
so
year.
we had to buy
Yeah.
that one on Amazon. It's not streaming on anything.
Yeah.
Which I figured it would be at least on Peacock since it's Universal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, but I mean, Yeah, I've had the physical and digital copy. It always comes together in a combo set.
Yeah.
Usually. So yeah, I bought both. I think it was like early last year or like it was on sale or
I
something.
think the common denominator here is like, I mean, all of them performed quite well. Like
for their budget.
went over
Oh, yeah.
budget, became profitable.
Yeah.
Christmas obviously
were all
sells.
profitable.
things
So
like that, but
what was your budget again?
So-
What was the budget?
I think you're
120
first place over here.
123 million. So I think the Grinch
Yeah, that
was
one-
in
yeah.
first,
Yeah.
and then Love Actually was second,
Yeah.
and then Elf.
I thought Elf was second.
I thought Elf was second.
Oh, I thought you said 240, and you said 220 something.
but
right.
the budget was higher for this.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it's
Wait, how-
So-
what was your
Are
budget?
we talking about gross or
33?
net?
Gross.
Mine was 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and your
But his was like 249 million.
after
Yeah.
the budget. That's the gross domestic. So
Okay,
yeah,
I
so
guess
Love
it was
Actually would be
something-
second.
Yeah.
Elf would be third, and then
It's not on this
Yours
list.
was like neck
so
and neck, right?
No, hers won.
Nightmare
Okay.
Before Christmas, and then National Lampoon.
National Lampoon was number 5.
Yeah,
for
That's
budget.
surprising because that's like a classic from.
It's the
I think
times.
it's more the times,
Yeah.
and now
There was less movie
Christmas Vacation is
theaters.
more of like a cult classic now.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I
I'd
think it was
imagine
okay
DVD
received when it
sales.
first came out,
Yeah.
but now it's everywhere. I mean,
I'd
last
imagine
year,
those older movies, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, like they're much higher. I
yeah.
think.
I mean,
Mhm.
last year they were
become
slapping
collectors.
this on Raising Cane's Chicken.
They were. Where was I?
Yeah.
Yeah. They did
I was
like
really
they
excited.
did a commercial,
You
right?
took
Like-
me to get my own little Raising Cane's Christmas Vacation
Yeah.
cup. I was like a little kid that got a little Happy Meal, but my
Oh,
Happy
nice.
Meal toy was Chevy Chase on my cup.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the Grinch 3 points for being in first place. Love Actually 2 points, and the Elf 1 point. And we'll
got
keep them up as we go along. All right, we
Can we-
ready?
Just like
Can
the
we get
Oscar
half
snubs.
points?
Point
This isn't, isn't a Taskmaster point system. It's
Okay, okay.
3, 2, or 1.
Okay.
All right, we ready?
Oh, darn.
Ready for the next category?
Mhm.
All right, let's check it out. And our next category is costumes.
Okay.
Oh,
Alrighty.
All right.
All right.
that's
It
interesting.
is interesting.
So it'll be a little bit of a
I-
debate here.
Yeah. So like
Not everything's gonna be factual. We'll just
So
go
like
off
what do you mean by what do you mean, what do you mean by
value.
like so that's the thing too, costumes. So would Nightmare Before Christmas be
So
considered
like outfit, like they're
'Cause they're not real
the-
actual-
design.
the design of
So the
what
cost-
their
okay.
costumes. So even though they're animated, they're still designing for costumes. So
Okay, well-
I'm going to open up by saying
I'm not gonna win
Jim
this one.
Carrey had to get a former Marine to train him on how to take pain because his costume was so.
This is the most painful
extreme.
costume. This is best.
Yeah, it's his best costume. Yeah, exactly.
There's no prizes for most sacrifices.
But I will
No
say-
brownie points.
okay, but I will say still, the Who's costumes were very out of this world. They were very interesting. They were very unique, especially when they were getting ready to go to their little festival and they had like the picnic theme
Yeah.
costuming and all this other kind of stuff. So I think the costuming in the Grinch was definitely just really out there, and should be considered. And I'm pretty sure, didn't they win an Oscar? for
It won an Oscar for
costume?
something. Yeah, I don't know
It
what
might
it
have
was
been
for.
like best. It's not called best.
Maybe
best-
this was like for Cheryl.
It's
Crow's
not called
song.
best set, but or set design, isn't it? I forget the
Oh,
I forget
did
the
they get best-
category
Was it set
name.
design?
Yeah, is that what the
Ah,
category is
look at
called?
you.
I'm
Investing in the
maybe,
future.
I'm
of your
looking it
Oscar.
up. Yeah, let's
Your
see.
Oscar-winning movie.
Dang. So actually it won best makeup and hairstyle,
Best costume.
best costume design, and best
Production
production design.
Costume design. Okay,
Oh,
Production
okay.
design.
I'm just
See,
Just saying.
there you go.
I know the categories, just not the name, not the name
get the
convention.
gist.
Oh, boy.
So just saying, the Grinch has best costume design, and won an Oscar for it. Next.
Yeah, that's gonna be,
Damn.
You're like, how do I follow up?
that's gonna be tough.
And Elf,
Yeah, I
because
Yeah.
really a competition here. It's really just probably just both of y'all and the Night Before
I would
Christmas.
say Night Before Christmas.
Because Love Actually didn't really have like.
Well,
it's
Love
just,
Actually,
you know,
I'm sure,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
early H&M got
it's- it's
Yeah.
not really like costumes in there per
They
se
did-
though, but like
they just went to Macy's.
they just yeah JC Penney, that was yeah. So but I would say like more in competition. But
yeah.
the nominations that Elf got. So since we're talking about nominations, it got a Teen Choice Award It got
Those are
the
huge.
highest-
Those are huge.
the highest
the
Oh,
praise
man.
you could
TV
get.
award.
Did they get slime?
Wait, I was gonna say
Hey,
Nickelodeon
the
Kids' Choice
the
Awards.
Kids' Choice Award.
The
The Kids' Choice
the
Best
kid-
Movie
the
of
kid-
the Year.
The kids are the future.
Oh my
They-
god.
The funny thing is, we are those
They
kids.
must. Yeah, we probably voted.
We voted for
That was me voting, submitting 20 votes with like different emails.
So we had that to worry about. So Teen Choice Award, Kids Choice Award for Best Movie.
Are we going? Are we
Yeah.
going in order? Or do we go
Yeah.
off order? Like,
No,
is that how
sorry.
we
Well,
press it?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I wasn't a. I
I
was
think we
genuine.
Take it away. Talk about Elf.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you know, because like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I love Jim Carrey's The Grinch, so I'm actually very biased. Like, I respect where respect is due. Like, I don't think I'm winning over that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I got an Oscar
Even-
nomination.
well,
Win.
Wins, I'm
Not
sorry.
nomination.
Nominees and wins.
even before the Oscar mention, it's like, you know, Whoville and everything that
Yeah.
comes with it. It's just you know, from bringing that from the page of Dr. Seuss and just how imaginative it was, like that's a tall order, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, with Elf, you had once again this component where some of the story did take place in the North Pole, but it's mainly, you know, a singular person coming from that world, then jumping into you know, the real world in New York. But I really do still give kudos to just what they did in Elf, because, you know, a lot of it took place inside of the I was gonna say Macy's, but it's because there's a funny story. It's
Gimbals.
it's Gimbals, but
Gimbals.
like the real Gimbals was closed like way before that.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, like in the 70s.
Okay.
But Macy's was like, y'all can use our store, y'all can name it Gimbals, even though they were competitors. But the real place was like a Macy's.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was just kind of like, hey, we're still standing, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I'm pretty sure it's like bragging rights. But anyways, you know, even inside of that, they created this retail experience of, you know, we're the North Pole, and the employees dressed like elves and things like that. And even a lot of the costuming there, like, I think it was very charming. It feels like real, but of course, like, a lot goes into it. I saw like some notes from like the costume designer for the movie that it was actually quite difficult to make the costume for Will Ferrell, because, you know, he's 6'3", I think, and, you know,
Yeah.
just getting everything fitting right and still be like tight and functional and all that stuff. I'm sure it's like
Yellow tight pants.
hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even the little bit that we got from North Pole, you know, it was endearing. But I do gotta say, like, a lot of it still has this filter of realism. Like, none of those costumes were like, you know, extremely like, oh, out of this world. It's super real, super magical. However, kudos also to Jon Favreau, who favored a lot of practical effects in the designing. A lot of the even the critters that
The claymation
Buddy the
critters.
Elf. Yeah, the
those are
claymation.
fantastic.
they took inspiration from Rudolph the reindeer. Is that the name?
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Is it just called Rudolph?
Yeah.
Like
The red-nosed
reindeer.
Yeah. A lot of it took inspiration from that. Jon Favreau really wanted to do that over like CGI. And then what we did see of the North Pole, I'm getting out of costume. I'm just gonna end it with this, like, just creating those sets that would create that illusion of like Buddy and Santa being bigger than everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of that was super practical. So kudos to that. It feels like they wanted to keep some sort of realism in there, and that reflects on the costumes.
Now, I'm glad that you brought up the 1964 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special, because that was really the big focus for the costuming for Elf.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess bringing it back around to Christmas Vacation, like, I don't think the costuming for all these movies was good in its own way. Obviously, fantastical. When it comes to Christmas Vacation, it leans more on the realism. But when you see people dress up for comedy things for Christmas and they go to Christmas parties, usually it's like the Cousin Eddie, like the bathrobe, the beer can.
It's still classic.
They're iconic costumes that have come from Christmas Vacation, and it's iconic imagery. So I would say,
for sure,
when you look at the costumes from Christmas Vacation, you got to give kudos for the legacy that it's left behind. Not so much like how intrinsic it was, or how or how like fantastical it was, but just the mark that it's left.
Like,
I think-
recognizable too. 'Cause, like, the boss
Yeah.
wrapped up in the bow, like, you know where
Yeah.
that's from.
Yeah.
It was definitely a signifying moment in those times as far as styles goes, because, you know, it was just You know,
Yeah.
especially you know, just the poor brother-in-law,
Eddie's my favorite.
It's more so the situation that you see them go through. You know,
Yeah.
that's the funny part. The cat thing, you know, the fire, right?
Oh my.
Oh no, the
Yeah.
tree is like something comes out of the tree, right, or something.
It's like
But
a
you
squirrel.
could
Yeah.
you could dress as Clark Griswold with his little Santa suit and his tie.
Yeah,
And
Or
yeah.
you could
Yeah.
or dress as cousin Eddie
yeah.
for Halloween, and people would know
Well,
who you were.
and it embraces like how strong the actor was, you know, at
Yeah.
that time. So
Well,
yeah.
and you know, speaking of costumes, like a lot of thought still goes into that. Like in realistic movies, that you may think that the actors are just wearing whatever, or it's like they're handed a random shirt and a random jacket, and that's
Yeah.
they call it a pair of jeans or whatnot, right? But no, a lot of thought really does go into that. From what I've heard of this part of production, like, you know, the costume designers are really thinking about what makes sense for this character,
Mhm.
and also based on the scene and the lighting, they take a look at, you know, what color palette is good for the character. Sometimes characters even wear something based on what, you know, the character's trying to convey, like the emotion and everything like that. So a lot of it goes into it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these decisions were made
Well,
in terms of
I
like,
think a simple example of what you're talking about is like
every movie has a costume designer. Though.
Like-
Like,
oh,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Every
Like
movie has
in,
a person. Yeah.
Breaking Bad, when they dressed everybody had like a color that they would wear.
Yeah.
It's something as simple as
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
And they always have like because not the it's too much to put on even for anybody, like when you show up to a job, and it's too much work because like it's not the actor's job to decide what to wear. I mean, they can give, you know, inspirations and everything, but typically it's like they already have everything set up. You show up, makeup, everything's already set up. You put up, they're dressing you. You know,
Yeah.
because like you're playing this role, this character that the director is in charge of, and you know, and all that, and the director hires the costume design. You know, it goes into more behind the scenes stuff, but yeah, no, it's a lot of work, especially when it comes to like you know, where Elseworlds places like the great, like
That's
I
a
don't
good way to put
like
it. Yeah, Elseworlds.
like it's definitely a like how in the heck did they make. Where was even Whoville filmed at? Because I couldn't even recognize it. Like, hey, maybe a town. I mean,
it was a huge. In fact, I had read that the Halloween Stalkers had one of the biggest sets that Universal has ever made.
Oh,
They
damn.
didn't take care of it very well.
Well, I was gonna say we'll get to that if we get to the set thing. I've got
Yeah.
a fun
Yeah.
story for
Yeah.
the
But what
set,
about
actually,
Nightmare
part.
Before Christmas?
yeah.
So when I think of best costume, I think of most iconic. So like if you dress up, like you say, at a Halloween party or Christmas party, you could recognize that character. And I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas has such iconic characters, not just the two main ones like Sally and Jack, which you could recognize any day if anyone dresses up as them.
Absolutely.
But also like other characters like the Oogie Boogie,
Yeah, Oogie was
the
big.
kids like Lock, Shock, and Barrel,
Yeah.
you know, Santa Claus. So you could recognize characters like that. So I think my film, my best, has very iconic, recognizable
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Even
Santa
like-
Claus, put them in the
even like
Yeah.
the Grinch, like you could dress up as the Grinch, but like, will people recognize that's Jim Carrey's
Yeah.
the Grinch? So I
I-
think,
it-
and
I think so.
Whoville too, like
you know,
the
it's so amazing. Like the Grinch, like the Universal one. So we went to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, and
the
my
guy,
the guy is
the
so
actor-
I will
fucking
actually make that video.
amazing.
I will.
He
take that videos
is-
all day.
Oh my
That
god,
guy.
that like it's crazy because it's like it sounds like Jim Carrey, and
Yeah.
it's just whoever does the makeup and everything, it's so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like I just like, holy shit, this is like
I
live.
watched
This is
videos.
like
and the
real.
actor-
Like it is so good. Like it's
That's
like,
awesome.
it's like they spent the money and they're just making more money off that movie because it's there in their park, you know. And I would not be surprised if it is similar costume. I mean, it has to be, right, because it's similar costume to the
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, the original.
I also think
you
it
know,
makes
film.
like the actor makes it like Jim Carrey made
Yeah.
that role. Like,
Oh, absolutely. They
yeah.
actually is. This is in line with costumes, but I won't take too much time on it. But the studio at first was kind of complaining about how much money they're paying Jim Carrey, and because he was going to be in makeup, right?
Yeah.
So the studio was like, makes no sense to pay this guy that much if he's going to be in makeup. Anyone can be under the makeup. So they said, figure it out, get someone else. And the director was like, nah, dude, like we can't do that. But the director was like, I'm pretty confident I can get my point across. So let's do the test. And they did a test. They put someone else. I don't know who it was, but they put someone else in the same makeup and all that stuff. And they acted some scenes. They showed it to the studio and they were like, Let's go with Jim Carrey.
Well,
You
he's so
cannot-
expressive.
I
You
feel like when
cannot do
you
that.
when you bury an actor in makeup, they have to almost act
Even do more.
Overact,
They
yeah.
have to act bigger.
Like the smile,
get
like
through-
that smile
Yeah.
was all Jim. He was in an interview. I don't know if it was with Ellen or someone like that, and he made the face without
Mhm.
makeup, and they were like, "Oh, you realize it wasn't all makeup. It was like him
Very
being able,
flexible.
being able to really transform his face. That's
Yeah.
a lot of what he did in like stand up and all that stuff. It takes special. He did exercises for his face. Like it's just they tried to replace Jim Carrey, but no, 100%. It wasn't just makeup. It was like
I
him.
can't imagine that film without Jim Carrey.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think one of my favorites is when he's like trying on something. He's like, ooh.
We were
I love that.
we were reading fun facts the other day
Yeah.
about like other actors who were considered for the Grinch.
Eddie
One of-
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy was
Eddie
one
Murphy
of them.
was one of them.
Really?
And believe it
Yeah.
or not, Jack Nicholson was one of them.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Those
I-
are two. I mean, those. I mean, Jim Carrey. Kudos to all credits due to Jim Carrey. But those are actually two good. those
Yeah,
are
like I
solid.
would watch
Yeah.
both of those. They would both be different. Extremely
Yeah,
different
different.
Grinches. Like,
I think
yeah.
Eddie Murphy. I mean, yeah, it was definitely like as far as funny goes. I think Eddie Murphy will probably be close to Jim Carrey's funny
Yeah.
humor. And
But if you wanted
everything,
someone
yeah.
like crazy,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
a dark version of
Yeah,
the
it would have been
Grinch.
like a more like let me get a gun or, or something. Yeah, he would have been doing like a more Joker laugh. Yeah, that would have been fun.
Interesting.
So if we're thinking about costuming and we're thinking about putting them in a top 3, so I think we're all in agreement that he won the Oscar. The Grinch has
Yeah.
a great
Grinch,
costume.
yeah.
I
Right.
guess the
And I'm
Grinch.
gonna have you spin the next one so that it's not like me just airing it, you know. So I think no offense to Love Actually and Christmas Vacation, iconic costuming, but I don't think it compares to Nightmare Before
Yeah.
Christmas and Elf.
This
Yeah.
ain't y'all's
Well,
category.
it's kind of hard
Sorry.
to give any costuming kudos to Nightmare because it's their claymation.
But it's still like
it's still part of the
recognizable
Yeah.
character.
I would still argue, that it's still that there is still a costume designer for the Night Before Christmas.
Yeah,
They
no,
I don't-
have
I
designed
don't disagree with
didn't-
that.
the
But Nightmare Before-
costumes
it
that the
didn't-
characters have to wear.
It didn't win as much Oscars, but it did win an Oscar. It won Best Visual Effects.
Yeah, I did see that. I was going
Is
to
that-
mention
yeah,
that.
94.
Yeah, so they'd have
Oh.
visual effects, which visual effects is more than just costuming. It's also the design of
Yeah.
the character themselves. So personally, I feel like I would go Nightmare Before Christmas in second place.
I mean, I would go that and then because it has more iconic, recognizable characters.
Yeah.
If someone dressed up
I
as
think
that
that's-
person,
okay.
you could pick that out. Same
Yeah.
thing with like Buddy. I think Buddy's really the only
Yeah, there's a
character
lot
from
of-
that movie. You could
You
someone
could
could dress
dress
up
like
as him.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah, there's
like
a
with the
couple
blonde,
costumes.
Yeah.
the
like-
blonde set up for her.
yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I get it. So
but still,
No, I
compared
agree.
to like the number of characters that you can do for Nightmare Before
Mhm.
Christmas, I think they might have a slight edge.
no,
Yeah.
that's
Sorry, not
fine.
sorry.
Well, that's fine. And I was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm okay with taking that because Nightmare Before Christmas, like it's like a Halloween thing.
Yeah,
People
it's a
dress up for
mix.
Halloween,
Mhm.
and there's like a Christmas factor. So I think
I will die on the hill.
But
if
do you
it's
not
all-
see people dress up?
No, I don't.
They show up at Disney's Halloween thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's-
it's
mhm.
so it's a double whammy. I understand it, but I'm glad that Elf still is acknowledged here at least.
All right. So in the category of costumes, we have the Grinch in first place, Nightmare Before Christmas in second, and Elf in third place, which means our current standings are the Grinch with 6 points, and then Nightmare, Love Actually, and Elf all tied with 2 points.
Yeah.
We're about to put Christmas Vacation on the
Yeah.
score.
Oh, that-
Give it that wheel. Give it that wheel.
Frankie, I will have you spin for the next category. So-
Yeah.
All right, here we
all right,
go.
our next category.
Says here Christmas Vacation automatically wins this round. No, so it's audience rating. So the
Oh. Rotten Tomatoes.
so Rotten Tomatoes
Rotten
audience
Tomatoes.
rating.
I get that.
All right.
All right, so I think this might be where
This
Christmas
is where I'm gonna
Vacation.
take it. I'm gonna take it right here.
Are you?
I don't think
let's
so.
see.
No, this is gonna be close. This is gonna be real close.
All right, so everybody,
So strictly
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes.
We're looking at the audience score,
Okay.
so not the
Audience
critic
score.
score.
Yeah, got
We're
it.
looking at the audience score
I know.
for
Yeah.
the.
Oh, man. 92%. What the?
So this
No,
is definitely going to be where the Grinch comes in last place.
Yeah,
Because unfortunately, for some reason, the audience scores, especially the critic scores for the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, is not very good. Not a lot of
They
people
don't understand art.
appreciate it. I don't get it.
Jim Carrey, how could it not be good?
Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas lands with 58% audience.
Wow.
I'm
Very
just curious.
low.
What's the critic score? I'm just curious.
49%.
Whoa.
It is considered a rotten film and is not considered successful, even though
I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree.
I definitely
Yeah, that's a
disagree.
potential-
we all disagree.
That's a
After,
wake up. That's a
yeah.
wake up.
After rewatching it recently, I have become a believer in the movie. Before that, I think what a lot of people remember is that I think the movie lasts a little too long. And sometimes Jim Carrey almost upstages himself in the scene. So I think that's where a lot of the criticism comes from. I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying that happens in that movie.
Yeah.
Because like he does Ace Ventura × 4 sometimes.
Yeah.
And it sometimes comes across a little
remember,
genuine.
Everyone, fun fact I do want to mention. So like, when you mentioned it, remember that one scene where he's like, I can't cancel dinner on myself. Like, right, when he's doing like, I can't cancel. And so that scene's actually was not in the script.
Yeah.
He just
great at
he
that.
improvised and he
Improvising.
actually made
I'm
the movie.
pretty sure like
Yeah.
80% of the movie was just like
Oh,
him
yeah.
off the cuff.
Yeah, and
You know-
Bryce Dallas Howard, she actually, because her dad was a director, she
Yeah.
actually made a cameo in the movie. She's one of the
She's one of the Whoville.
the Whoville, yeah.
She was.
Oh,
Whenever we saw her in the
I think I
credits.
remember seeing
Yeah.
in the credits.
yeah,
and
she's
thinking
in there,
that-
and I was like, oh,
Okay.
I didn't even, yeah, she's in there.
I wanted to say too, like compared to the book and the story, right? Like there's a lot that was added.
Yeah.
You know, the a lot of the baby scenes, a lot of
background.
one of my favorite, like the race that he does with the sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
I was
where he
laughing
just
really
knocks
hard out
out
loud.
the driving, the car accident, all that stuff. It's like I look back at it as like, okay, if you were expecting the book, I could see
Yeah.
like, how you're like,
And then he
but-
stuffs his
but
face
you'd
in the
be-
girl's
you'd-
titties. Yeah, he's-
but you'd be robbed of so many
Yeah.
amazing things from that movie
Yeah.
if it was just to be like exactly what's on the book. I'm just super appreciative for that movie. I'm once again
that's-
extremely biased, but I
yeah.
think it's a movie that
yeah.
aged better, and also newer audiences just understand more than what it was on its initial release.
Yeah.
But I just think that the director, even when you start from the script, even before the script, even like when you're getting on board for a project, a lot of it goes with even like the Harry Potter books. It goes with even with the Twilight books. The director, whoever they choose, it's like we don't want to be like the exact same as the book, because
We want to piss the readers off.
we want to
Yeah.
no, I mean, and even when it comes out to even Marvel movies and DC,
Game of Thrones.
yeah. So, and sometimes it doesn't always. Sometimes it doesn't always work. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Let's be honest. And there's so much shit happens in the Harry Potter books. They can't put all that in the movies. Every movie's gonna be like 3.5 hours long. It's not gonna work. And point being is that directors on it's very hard to even more so. We learned from not even a TV show can save. Ending of a TV show could say, "Oh, Game of Thrones." You can't really save like what the book has given to fans and everything. So
There is no book.
yeah,
He hadn't published it yet.
yeah, but it goes off the wall a little bit, but yeah, no, I mean, with any film project, it kind of felt like that. They don't want to be just like the book. They want to change it up, whether it's good or bad. I mean, that's Twilight movies are just like they're just
Yeah, so The
Yeah.
Grinch is definitely not going to win this category. So how did Christmas Vacation do?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Christmas Vacation may find a spot on the scoreboard at least this time.
Right.
I don't know.
It's gonna.
It's over. You're not gonna be.
All right. So for the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is sitting at a pretty healthy 86%.
Okay.
Okay, I agree with that because it's such like a
86.
funny,
Audience?
surprising.
Oh, that's
film.
audience score, yeah.
Score.
It
Yeah.
is also fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, unlike the Grinch over Just kidding.
So I kind of already pictured or already knew who's gonna take the number one. But yeah,
Uh-oh.
National
I-
Lampoon. If I had to give it, I'm sorry. if I had to give it a score out of like 10, like I feel like 8.5 would be my score.
Yeah,
like
so I
8.
think it's sitting. I think
that's a fair.
I think
I think you're finally gonna get a point.
It's sitting in a good spot.
I think so. We'll see.
Scoreboard.
All
We'll
right,
see.
so-
Angela Goods.
Nightmare Before
I
Christmas.
was gonna take the win. It's like
This is the
well-
big win. It has to be.
So it has an audience score of 92%, which is
Nice.
surprising.
That is very
love
surprising.
it.
One.
I
Number
love
I don't know,
one.
people are diehard fans of this movie. Sometimes I feel like the fandom for this movie is a little oversold.
Mhm.
I mean, the movie's great. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I feel like people become obsessed with it. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't quite get the obsession
Disney
part of
loves
it.
this movie.
Oh, hell
But I mean,
Every
it's a great
Halloween,
movie.
Christmas, money.
No,
No, it does. I mean, Oogie Boogie. I mean, I've seen people tattooed with
Oh,
with
yeah.
all of it, like all of
Yeah.
everything. It's just, and even more so,
Obsession.
not less. I mean, I wouldn't say less popular movie, but not as popular. Maybe it is. I don't know. But like Corpse Bride, I've seen Corpse Bride people like just they'll
love
have the
that stuff.
tattoo of.
I think people just have an obsession.
Well,
with
well,
Tim Burton.
also a Nightmare Before
Yeah.
Christmas tattoo would look better than like a Cousin Eddie tattoo.
I've seen some people do it. I mean, I've seen some people do it. It's just it's.
I mean,
it's definitely a style.
I think this
Yeah.
this was just the beginning for if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the beginning for Tim Burton and his claymation. His vision fully realized. Prior
Yeah.
to this,
he had
Tim
some
Burton-
little projects before. But
Yeah. But Tim Burton previously, had already built up a name of creating, a very unique style with his other films that were live action. So I think he did a really good job at just selling the solution of like, this is like how I see the world without limits, right? With claymation has limits, but obviously like in terms of how you want to design things, like
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, and you can make your vision whatever it is that you want it to be. And I think this is a market approved version of
Yeah,
that, and it became really popular.
He had like Edward Scissorhands and stuff before
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nightmare Before Christmas, but yeah, I'd agree.
And
And
Batman.
we went to meet.
Even Beetlejuice. Yeah, Beetlejuice. Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
We
that
met-
with like, okay, no live action limitations. Let's
Yeah.
just go
That's true.
crazy.
He went full on. But we met Chris Sarandon, who plays the talking voice of
Mhm.
Jack Skellington, and everyone was there for Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
We were there for Fright Night.
We were the Fright Night kids.
Because
Oh,
he was Jerry the
nice.
vampire, but like
Yeah.
everyone was just like Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
So
And for like a
All
film
right.
that's been like 30 years, it's still pretty.
Yeah.
so that's surprising. I'm surprised, but not surprised that the ratings are so
Yeah.
high.
That's
Okay.
huge,
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Love Actually.
So
Come
Love
out
Actually, the official critic score is 64%, but the audience is 72%.
Dang. Okay.
Dang.
All right.
So
For
you
a second,
were hyping it up.
I know.
I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 100%.
No,
you were making me nervous. I
No,
was like,
I think I'll be third. I think.
70.
Unless-
Third.
People did not love it.
Oh,
actually.
okay. Yeah.
Ah,
Whatever.
pun intended.
that was good. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't. I'm assuming that Elf is gonna be.
I feel like Elf is gonna be low.
It's either
Third
going to be
place,
low or
at
high.
least?
Mm.
I feel like
at least
Elf.
third
It's
place.
solid. So it's fresh. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Audience score was 79. Not
barely.
Not
Okay.
the best.
Right.
Surprisingly, with Rotten Tomatoes, my recent experience is that audience tend to like movies more than the critics.
Mhm.
This was actually an opposite thing. The critics score was actually 86, which is a lot stronger.
Wow.
Interesting.
So I found, especially for a movie like Elf, I'd
Yeah.
imagine, like I still think it's got its cult following, myself included, where I think certain audience members would definitely rate this higher than 79. But just still the fact that when it came out and when this got logged and as it's collected stuff, critics is still higher. It's pretty impressive.
it
I
is.
think it's a
That
well
is-
packaged
I'm
movie.
surprised
I'm
that it's so high
surprised.
because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people hate on the on
I
Elf.
told them
I know.
when I googled it, I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Well,
I
I
think
think
it's gonna be
I don't think
really
they should.
low. But no, yeah, I was surprised.
I think a lot of it stems from probably Will Ferrell too. Like you either like his comedy or you don't.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's
That's
not for
exactly-
everybody.
yeah.
I think people who complain about Elf, their problem is not with the movie. It's their
Yeah.
problem with his
Yeah.
type of
It's
comedy.
just
for
Will Ferrell
themselves.
being Will Ferrell.
Yeah, like my
You-
mother, my mother-in-law does not like this movie.
And
Yeah,
Mm.
same.
that I
same.
feel like people who don't like this movie are people who just, like you said, don't like Will Ferrell movies. They
Yeah.
don't like anything that he does. 'cause
Which is
it's-
great because I feel like out
He's
of
a very
the Will
unique
Ferrell
comedy.
movies, like this one's more like palatable than I like
Yeah.
almost
think
all
so.
his stuff. But this is not a
It's not.
Talladega
Step
Nights.
Brothers.
It's like
It's not
you know,
Land of the
it's not
Lost.
Step Brother. Yeah.
What-
Oh, she
yeah.
hates Step Brothers. Yeah, my mother-in-law hates Will Ferrell. I think.
I think was it Old School or that also that he was?
Oh,
in?
Yeah.
So
See, Old School I love, but
Old
I don't like Step Brothers.
Old School was
love
right
Step
before
Brothers.
this
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
so this was still one of his first breakout
Yeah.
roles, but
I think he was still in
an
SNL,
Austin-
right, at the time?
Yeah, he was. So yeah, it's just you're right. I think a lot of that audience thing might have stemmed from that, but just the fact that once again the critic score was pretty healthy, I think it's a reflection of as a whole, like the movies packaged together. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Jon Favreau's first movie because I think Chef came after this, but I mean, look what he's done. I mean,
Iron Man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Iron Man, and now
The
he's
Mandalorian. He did The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Some
Yeah.
He's
episodes, yeah.
kickstarting,
Yeah.
heading.
I think a lot of people
Star
forget
Wars.
that Jon Favreau directed Elf
Mhm.
Yeah.
because it's
He was
really
also in it
it's
for a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not a directing style that he is like anymore, like in a good way because he's progressed a lot, and it's just people always forget that he directed that movie. I sometimes forget too. I'm all like, this is the same director that directed Chef and all, which is different.
I mean, it's
directing
early in
style.
his career for sure. It's
Yeah,
early
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I look at the movie and it's like, aside from the subjective comedy part, like,
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is scheduled. It's scheduled. It's directed well. The editing solid. Everything. I think it's well packaged. So
We did this exercise because of the whole Will Ferrell comedy thing.
yeah.
If you guys had to pick somebody other than Will
Oh,
Ferrell
yeah.
to play Elf, and other than Jim Carrey because he was also initially
Yeah,
considered
so-
for the role,
Yeah, I had that.
who
as
would
my
you
fun
pick
fact.
to play Elf in 2003?
I don't know who else I would have picked. But once again, I'm
Justin Long.
Okay, we
Wait,
didn't think about that
how
one.
old, was,
Justin
Long.
how old was he then?
I don't know.
He
Oh.
was, it was around the time of Jeepers Creepers 1.
Yeah,
so.
Justin Long.
Maybe
Let's
We
see.
said
I don't know if
we
I
said
would've
Ryan
picked-
Reynolds.
So Justin Long is 45 years old.
I could
Okay.
see that.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds.
Well-
would
Oh
do a good
no,
job.
Ryan
no.
Reynolds.
I hate his comedy. I do
So
not.
he would just be just as
no,
polarizing
worse,
as Will Ferrell.
Worse. He would be like, oh yeah, or I just don't like his. It's just the same stuff. He just does
Yeah.
the same.
The
stuff.
first person that comes to mind is Vince Vaughn, but I
Oh,
would
Vince-
not enjoy.
Oh,
No,
you
that'd
know
be
what?
good.
Like
That'd be
Fred
good.
Claus, he was very adult, but
Yeah.
he could do. I think Vince Vaughn could pull it off.
Yeah,
He's too
especially
tall.
at that time. Will Ferrell
know,
6'3",
yeah.
bro. Like, that was the
No, just
point.
kidding. Yeah.
No, but it's interesting you mentioned because I had that as one of my fun facts here is like Jim Carrey was considered for this. But the thing is like this movie Elf was starting to get like not production but like it get planned by the studio in 1993.
Yeah.
And they wrote the script. They were making everything kind of tweaked to Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey wasn't signed, but he was kind of partly committed.
Kind of flirting with
Yeah. But it took too long. It took 10 years. At that point, he had done other things. We have The Grinch. I forget how the dates lined up, but at that point, he had done
it.
that.
Yeah.
He had done The Mask. Like all, like
The
this
Mask.
at that point. I don't want to assume like whether Jim Carrey saw it like beneath him or not. I don't think that was it. It was more just like
He's
took
already
too
done
long.
a Christmas movie.
Took too
3
long.
years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think somebody who'd be really cool, especially in the 2003 time frame, because he just came off like the Little Nicky stuff. I think Adam Sandler would have done a good job.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
have been, but yeah,
Especially in early 2000s, Adam Sandler. I
Yeah.
think he could have pulled it off really well.
Would have
yeah.
been more of a grumpy.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Oh, the
grumpy.
Well, he could play like all kinds of weird, goofy
Yeah,
things.
all these movies I think would have looked very different.
Yeah.
with
yeah.
Oh yeah.
without Will Ferrell. I think it took a special Will Ferrell energy to kind of pull together the buddy character. But yeah, no, like I mean, I the closest to what we got on film, I think it would have been Vince Vaughn. I think that would have been it.
I also
Uh,
said Steve Carell could be a
Steve
possibility.
Carell would have done
Oh,
well.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh yeah,
All right.
at that time, yeah.
So that leaves Night
Points
Before
time.
Christmas. Night
One.
Before Christmas is in first.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Vacation is in second.
Oh yeah,
on the
boy.
board. On the board.
And then Elf came in third place. Excuse me, which means
What?
our current
Love actually came in third place.
No.
No, it
I didn't.
I'm just saying.
Trying to cheat here.
So the current standings are The Grinch with 6 points. Nightmare Before Christmas jumped up the ratings or jumped up the scale. Now they're with 5 points, so 1 point behind the Grinch. Elf is in third place with 3 points, and Love Actually and Christmas Vacation are tied.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Whatever, man. Whatever.
How are we looking on time? One more category?
Yes, one more.
Yeah, we're
All
at
right, here's somebody
54.
want to spin it?
We're at 54
Do
minutes
I
right now,
just-
Okay,
like,
let's do one more. Yeah,
or 2 more.
or 2 more. Whatever.
two more.
We'll see, depending on how involved the
Let's
next
go.
one
Let's
is.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit.
What do we get? What do we get?
Best Santa.
This is gonna be a quick one because not all
I
the
think so,
movies
yeah.
Hey, does
have.
the Grinch have Santa?
I've got my pick.
The
Yeah,
Grinch has
for a
Santa?
little bit, but Grinch, I would,
doesn't have Santa.
I would argue that Grinch played the Santa role.
Yeah.
So we will
Oh.
include people who portray Santa as well, even though they're not the real Santa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that we can
They're
include
not the real Santa.
because in Elf, I would
Yeah.
include like the fake
I
Santa
would. Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff
I
like
was
that.
gonna do that.
So yeah, starting with Grinch. I mean, obviously he
Somebody should have
takes
picked
the
Bad Santa.
role of Santa in order to destroy Christmas, essentially. But then, he has to change a heart, and he becomes like the real Santa, in which he wants to give and spread the
he-
true meaning of Christmas.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I'm trying to remember because I haven't seen the Grinch in a bit. He didn't kill him, right? He
No, there was
No.
the
He's
real
the
Santa.
real Santa for like 2 seconds through his binoculars.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
once he leaves, he okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I
yeah,
want a spin off of like Santa finding out what the Grinch did, going on
That
a
could be the
revenge.
sequel.
Yeah. No, but anyways, I was trying to remember like what exactly happened, and the reason one of the movies that I was considering to bring to the table here was Santa Claus, which that Santa dies, and
Oh yeah.
Um,
yeah.
well, in the
but then
TV
Well, later on, he
Tim
reveals
Allen-
he did it on purpose.
Yeah, the TV show like kind of dives into the
Oh, I
lore of
haven't
that a
gone
little
into
bit.
that.
It's pretty
Okay.
good. I would recommend it. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's just a little
cheesy
different.
but fun.
Okay.
But yeah, so in terms of the Grinch, he portrays a Santa.
I would
you
argue
know,
that the Grinch,
and,
yeah.
and he portrays Santa in order to steal Christmas and then ultimately become like the real Santa, where he wants to give and be a part of the Christmas traditions and stuff like that. So that'd be my small argument for the Grinch. I don't think he has a huge strength here, but a little bit.
No, I think that's pretty
get
good.
on board. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
get on
Yeah,
board with
I
that.
get on board with that. I mean, for Christmas Vacation, it's got a few different versions of Santa. You've got the animated one in the beginning that goes with the title song, Christmas Vacation, which is in its own acts like a comedy short film
It's
of Santa
cute, it's
delivering
cute,
gifts. So
yeah.
in a way, it's its own entity. So I think that's what makes it special.
Oh, we're counting entities now.
It's the idea of Santa.
Well, no,
you
it's like
know,
it's its
that
own
lives in all of us.
short film.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
the Pixar short film before the movie gets
Yeah,
started.
you can't like watch that without watching the opening.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't skip the opening.
And then obviously Clark plays Santa later on. And then you've got the fake Santa that blows up and goes across the moon.
I think that's the best one.
But I will say, and this is not to steal Alexis thunder later on, I think my vote for best Santa is going to go to the real Santa from Elf.
Yeah, I feel like Elf has a,
Yeah.
has a
I-
He's
strong.
pretty badass.
Yeah, I feel
I
Elf has
think
a really
his
strong-
name is what? Ed Asner.
Yeah,
And,
the actor. Which I didn't, because I've never seen him with that much beard.
yeah.
In the like before Elf and in other roles. But yeah,
But from
great actor.
from voice to costume to the embodiment of if I
Yeah.
met Santa in real life, that's who I would kind of picture. So
Yeah.
I'll not cover too much because that's
Appreciate-
yours. But I
appreciate
think
that.
my vote for best Santa is going to go to Elf.
yeah, I
Alright.
think I'm
And-
gonna have to agree here. But yeah, no,
Nightmare
so
Before Christmas has a
yeah, we have a Santa,
Sandy
but
Claus.
Sandy Claus.
Santy.
I mean, he gets captured for most of the film. He has to be rescued.
Yeah.
by-
Weak ass Santa.
I know, he gets all mad.
Damn.
yeah, I was,
Just
Damn.
old Santa get caught. Huh?
I know he's,
I'm messing. I'm messing.
he was so easy to capture. I mean, he got captured by kids,
Poor
right?
Santa.
yeah.
You get you by kids,
By
trick or
kids,
cheaters.
right? Trick or treaters. But I mean, he's still there. You can still recognize him. He does great. He fixes everything at the end. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Santa, I'm sorry.
I was
Getting
also
cold for Christmas now.
Oh, isn't that the Santa Claus movie where they deliver coal, right? Right. I think it's the third movie, Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
yeah.
The one with Martin.
No,
Short
it's the
in it?
second one. It's the second one. I'm sorry. It's the second one where he makes a robot of himself and he starts
Oh, it's
delivering
like
coal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does deliver coal.
I was gonna say like not to body shame, right? It's claymation, so it's supposed to look weird, but
It is.
the
little bitty hands.
Nightmare Before Christmas Santa Claus in particular, like the smallest hands I've ever seen.
It's a delicate.
He's not built like a tank. He's really like a circular shape.
He's bald.
Just-
He's
yeah.
bald-shaped.
You wonder how they got him through that Christmas tree door.
Yeah. And
Magic.
he has a little bit of a hunch and all that. I was just gonna say, like, you know, in other portrayals, I mean, he's always a big guy, right? But like I've seen like some Santas that I think could hold it down and carry all the presents. This one looks like he was on his last line. You know, one flew and like it's over. You know,
Christmas is over forever.
I mean, I appreciate it though, because Tim Burton usually does like really skinny characters, like in a lot of it.
He struggled to make.
opposite.
He's like, it's either really skinny or we're just gonna go round.
He's like, he's not in the
round
movie for
ball.
that long, so just a ball
Yeah.
with a beard and good to go.
Maybe
He's like,
he wanted the contrast. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, he goes
Yeah.
from like the huge Santa Claus to literally a skeleton.
Yeah.
So maybe he
does,
just wanted that contrast.
Visually, it does.
Yeah.
True. But no, I'm not even gonna try.
Liam Neeson as your Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln. Was
Yeah.
Santa.
I'm not even gonna try. No,
Was Andrew Lincoln did he put on the Santa suit?
there's no Santa. There's no
Okay.
Santa, just in the mall, just a real quick
Okay.
glance, but it just
Okay, we got Mall
Yeah.
Santa.
yeah.
Mall Santa.
Yeah.
Every
I
small
have-
Spanish.
Yeah. But no.
So Elf.
Oh, here we go.
That was so quick.
Yeah, I know.
We don't just have one Santa Claus. No. I like that this movie, you know, it starts in the North Pole because we get introduced to Santa fairly quickly into the movie. And I'll start with this. Like, you know, Frankie already touched on it, but this Santa, though he's not the focus of the movie, he really embodied like who Buddy looked up to, right? Like, especially as he goes on this journey to look for his father figure, right? Like he had his Papa Elf, but just, you know, you see the men that he looked up to, right? So it's Papa Elf and Santa, like, you know, those are the guys that you look up to. And you can see like where, you know, that was solid for this story because you see like what Santa did when he realized, you know, this baby got in my sack and all that stuff. Is like, you know, what do we do, right? Like, what do we do? He was in an orphanage and things like that. It's like, okay, well, we'll just take him on, right? Like, we hadn't really seen a take like that when it comes to, you know, Santa Claus, and that was all led by him, and even you know, like, we can see that Buddy and his size, you know, is causing problems in North Pole, right? Even the way that I'm sorry, what was the actor's name? Ed Ashner.
Ed Asner. Yeah.
Ed.
Sorry, Ed Asner. I like this. Like,
Ed Asner's portrayal of Santa. Like, if you go back to that line, and this may be deeper than what it really is, but the way that he delivered to Buddy is like, hey, you know, we think that it's really time for you to, you know, like, find your roots, and you know, we really want you, like, we broke down the news to you, but we really want you to, you know, find your father and do all this thing. Like, he just had this magic about him where, like, he really is able to, you know, deliver these hard messages, even telling him like his dad is on the naughty list and things like that. And then we see Santa, the same version of Santa, later in the movie when he comes, you know, the way that he calls for Buddy to help him out, and the really fun moment where, like, he has his nemesis on the Central Park Rangers and things like that. Like, it's just, this is like a badass Santa. Like, you know, he has beef with these guys and he understands and all this stuff. And, you know, he never made Buddy seem like less. And you know, I think that's a lot of the magic. It's a different take. It's not centered around Santa specifically, but as a side character, I think he did really good for the story. And even that little magical moment where he, I forget the name of Buddy's like brother, but I think it's Michael or something like that. But even when at first they don't believe in him, and he's like, what did you order for Christmas? And it's like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you mean this one right here? And it's like, you know, even that, and trying to prove himself, like, it was just a nice little touch there. And then the one that we had a nice little fun segment at the Macy's / Gimbals, where, you know, you're not the real Santa, you sit on a throne of lies. You know, that was just epic. Like, just to include that, I think it's solid. So nice. Elf, I think, is strong contender.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that Elf had the best Santa.
Yeah.
Best portrayal of Santa, just in general. Too bad none of us had the Santa Claus or
Oh yeah, you would just win.
Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti as Fred Claus or something.
Oh, I love
or
that
in
one.
Fred
He's
Claus.
good,
That's
yeah.
good.
So I think Elf is first place. So thinking about second and third, I think second, since Nightmare Before Christmas actually had Santa Claus and it was a role in the movie.
I would say that's second.
I would
I agree
say
with that.
that would
Even though
take second.
he got punked.
Yeah, he was a great Santa Claus, but he is Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think from Preston's standpoint, because
Yeah.
the one in the Grinch did the job. Like he delivered them gifts,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, he had a very minimal. As long as he came around and he found out what was going on, right?
He didn't
was-
stop the
He
Grinch.
just called it a day.
yeah.
See, I would personally argue that the Grinch was a better Santa Claus than the Santa
I
Claus.
The
in the
Who's,
movie.
yeah.
I
Because
agree.
he was very much about like presents, like should it be what Christmas is about? Like it should be about the joy of being
Yeah.
with people and
Community,
things like
yeah.
giving,
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
think-
like that. So
yeah.
I would say the
Because I
Grinch
think that's
became
a
better
great
Santa Claus.
yeah, that's a great story. Because even though it wasn't the Santa we know, seeing the journey of that person that had such bitterness in his heart come around, and even the movie taught you that it's not really about the presents, right? Like I think
Yeah.
that was an important
Yeah.
thing. But I think Grinch going through the transformation himself as he posed as Santa, I think
Yeah.
definitely.
Wait, the illumination animation style of it though was that he was delivering the presents, or he was dressed up as Santa Claus, the actual illumination one.
Well, also
the one
the
that
how
came
the
out.
Jim Carrey was
Jim
too,
Carrey
yeah.
dressed up as Santa Claus as well.
yeah.
So the question is, and for third place, is it the Grinch or Christmas Vacation?
I would say probably Grinch.
Probably Grinch.
Okay.
Yeah, Grinch.
Oh,
So
yeah,
in that
because
case,
it's more of a Santa presence, and that's why I would say that.
Oh yeah.
And I agree with your argument that he became a better Santa.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in that case, the Grinch and Nightmare Before Christmas are tied for first place with 7 points.
Dang.
Elf
Damn it.
is
we
in
got to do one more.
Yeah,
Elf
what
is
am
in-
Love
Wait,
Actually's
what-
gonna go
what-
next.
Tiebreaker.
where's
Elf is
Elf?
in a close second with 6 points, so Elf
Yeah.
can still take it.
Ooh.
Wait, how many points do you get if you get first place?
3.
Three.
Okay.
So
All
3,
right.
2,
Yeah,
1.
it's close. It's
Love
tight.
Actually and Christmas Vacation are still tied.
Hey, we're on the board.
How many
baby.
points?
We are on the
How many-
board.
2 points. Dude, do another category. Do another
Category's not gonna save you.
Yeah, another one. Another one.
All right,
Another
you wanna
one.
do
You have to win like
Yeah.
3.
Let's see. All right, this one's for 5 points.
I'm
We're
about
changing it
to
up. Let's change it. Let's
Okay,
change
yeah,
it.
we'll- double.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm
Double.
gonna get
Let's change it.
so
Alright.
mad if
Points are worth doubled now.
Yeah, all right. Okay, let's go.
All right, click it.
All right, is this the last category, or we're doing another one?
Quotability.
Let's double it. I mean, we also got 4 truths and a lie, or 3 truths and a lie.
Oh, okay, we'll just do one more, and then,
Do one
yeah,
more.
one more.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I'm-
Ready?
If that, yeah.
I'm hoping it's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's what I want.
What do you guys want?
I think the good one's gonna be
The
close.
the thing that starts with a Q.
Are you trying to pick out which one you
Oh no! I haven't done. Okay.
watch him?
It rhymes. It rhymes with Lunchables.
Soundtrack.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, I'll make it a win.
That's strong. What?
No,
has a-
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Zoe Deschanel singing.
Well, we don't. We kind of already know. Like, it's gonna probably be like. I mean, not before Christmas. Is
No,
tough.
well, I mean,
No, the
also you could
Grinch?
argue Vacation because it has
That has-
very iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
What?
terms of
Yeah,
original,
that kind of song.
It's got its
Oh,
own.
I haven't
It had
seen
its
that.
own original.
so
song.
just to make
Yeah.
this quicker, so that maybe we could do one more category, is I would consider Nightmare Before Christmas, Christmas Vacation, and The Grinch in the top 3 because they have they have
No, no, no,
original
no.
songs.
Yeah,
They have original.
They're the only ones
songs.
with original songs.
Yeah.
Well, but this is soundtrack. Is that not? No, it's not the same as score, is it?
No,
I mean, you
a
could-
soundtrack I would consider like the sound, like the
Sometimes they
songs.
do put the
Yeah.
score
So
in
not the
soundtrack, but-
music and the background music.
Hey,
but the,
don't screw over Hugh Grant dancing to a song. What the?
Did he sing it though?
No, I
He
would,
lip syncs it.
I would agree with that assessment. Like,
Yeah.
Elf music is the music in Elf is good, but none of it is original. It's all covers.
It's all covers, it's all classic
Mm.
music. So it's
It's
great.
all-
You know,
it's-
you
it's
have Zoe
great, like,
Deschanel singing
But
Baby Is
I'm
Cold
familiar enough with
Outside.
Love Actually
I'll-
to actually give it a fair assessment. So I'll leave that
It's
up to
more
you to
like
cover.
scores, not really.
It's-
songs.
I
Yeah.
argue the reason I want to put Elf in because those songs, those covers, played a pivotal role in the story to the point where like the song itself was what kind of saved Christmas.
Okay,
Y'all
but
remember
that
that?
argument
Here-
can be made tenfold
Here,
with our
here
three.
is
Yeah.
here is my proposal.
How
Third
so?
place is Christmas Vacation,
Christmas Vacation has an original
It's-
song,
it's
great
third place.
song.
and I would say Second place for the Grinch.
He
Just
has
because of the Grinch.
two original songs.
Well, there's also Sheryl Crow's song that's really popular.
yeah, so three original songs.
And
Well, I would
then
say two because one is just the cover.
I would say first place for
How can you
Nightmare.
Yeah,
beat
it's gotta
Nightmare
be-
Before
It's
Christmas?
also like based on recognizability. Like if you
Yeah.
play Christmas Vacation,
We won't
you
double
know
the scores
what
this
movie
round.
that is. If you play certain original songs from the Grinch, you know where that's from. Same thing with Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm sorry. I know what you mean, but if someone sings that, I don't automatically think, oh, that's from Elf. I just think
Yeah.
that's that song.
That's just a
Yeah.
very popular
Yeah.
song.
Well, that's just Elf being dope. You know.
Yeah, no,
And I'm sorry, Love Actually doesn't have any songs.
Yeah.
they do. So they do. It's just they play the original. You know,
It's the-
I
same
don't
Okay.
get me
Same
wrong.
stuff,
I
yeah.
knew it wasn't gonna be Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought like it being left out in the cold. It's crazy.
Well-
I think of all those. Like I literally heard "Baby It's Cold Outside" for the first time
that is an
In-
iconic moment in
in Elf. I
Well,
didn't
no,
know
there
that-
is an
is.
original song in Love Actually.
Oh.
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
It's Christmas is all around.
Oh
It's-
my
Yes,
God.
he's like,
Oh.
I feel it in
This
my
one,
fingers.
that's all he sings.
So the question is,
So it
is
is
it better
original.
than the original song from Christmas Vacation?
or more recognizable.
Or
No.
more recognized?
No, not more
Absolutely
original.
not. Absolutely not.
It's still an original
It's
song.
also not a
Don't
song that
yeah.
like saved Christmas.
So I would definitely. I mean, Elf.
I
has,
mean,
like,
it saved Christmas for his album because he was making a Christmas album,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I'm in the rudder." You know, he said,
No,
"Don't buy drugs. Become a rock star. You get them for free."
Yeah,
and
he
like
was a
he's
badass
just
with
he's yeah. it's
No,
just-
but also he was like,
yeah.
if this becomes number one, I will play in the news.
oh, the nude, and he does play in the nude because he comes number one.
who
In,
plays in the nude?
it's gonna be what's his name?
Is it Ben Nighy?
Yeah, Bill Nighy.
Oh, we need
Yeah.
to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
It has
yeah.
like a fan.
I'm surprised you never heard it. Y'all never heard it.
No.
Give
I
us a
haven't.
sample.
I might have. Yeah, give us a short
It's
sample.
While he looks it up, I'll say one thing. I'm still upset about the situation. I'll accept it. I'm getting outvoted. However, I know it's not soundtrack, but I really like the Elf score. Like just the I can't sing it because it's score and things like that. But it's classic theme. But I'm just gonna say Elf, the soundtrack has a trap remix. If that doesn't speak for the
man.
quality
Yeah.
of the soundtrack, I don't know what it's gonna.
Yeah. So
Trap
alright,
remix.
let
I'm,
me-
Alright,
I'm gonna have to
right.
give this a
I'll play
listen.
this a little
Right.
bit.
Just play a little bit of it.
Feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Love is all
I just imagine Bill Nighy as his character from Underworld, just like jamming out.
Oh,
to the
yeah.
song.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
So he changes his original song and he has to make it Christmas. So instead of saying love, it has to say Christmas.
It's like Christmas all around me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He doesn't even sing the whole song.
No, he does.
Oh,
he does.
okay.
He does. But it's like,
Like he
you know,
keeps getting it wrong, so they have to keep
yeah.
stopping it.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
funny.
no.
my toes.
I have seen that scene, so maybe
Yeah.
I have seen this movie. I don't know.
Love is all around.
Epic. This is a little sample of the Elf.
Oh, the trap.
I haven't
Trap
seen it.
remix.
Elf. Let me see real quick. Oh, this is pretty good. Oh wait, can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It sounds like something people would use when they get their lights in their house, sync to music.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
But this was it, you know, bumping.
Yeah.
it's a shame we didn't want to
it's
save
fourth
Christmas.
place
pick.
It's no. Love actually is sport. He's an Oscar winner.
You're like-
But what are you talking?
You're
No.
like, I made the category. It's an original.
Yeah.
It's one original.
One
song.
original song.
Because if we did it just based off of every music, then every song that was in the movie, then it would just be like, okay, what Christmas songs did they pick out that are the
Yeah.
most popular Christmas songs? That's why it's just okay. We know that they all 4 or 5 have Christmas songs in them. So the question is, what makes it stand out? And what makes it stand out is its original songs. which Nightmare Before Christmas blows that out of the water.
Oh yeah.
The Grinch has 2.
I'm not saying it's number 1, but it's not
Fun
Yeah.
number 4.
fact,
It's not
the
number
songs
4.
were made for Nightmare Before Christmas,
And I don't
before
think-
the movie was.
I don't think the
script was made.
song from
Oh, I didn't know
Grinch
that.
is better than the song from Christmas Vacation. Like the Sheryl Crow song is fine, but I think it's more pop. I think it won like an award or
It's
something.
more recognizable.
Yeah.
Like, I
More
think-
people know the Grinch song than they know the Christmas Vacation song.
Oh well, if we're talking about the Grinch song, yeah, I'm talking about like that end credit song that was.
Oh,
from Sheryl Crow
the
or something.
Sheryl Crow
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
version. Yeah. Well, so that brings us to the scoreboard. Nightmare Before Christmas is in first place now with 10 points.
Yeah.
The Grinch is in second with 9. Elf
Hey.
is sitting at 6 points. Christmas Vacations with 3 points, and Love Actually.
No, man. Dude, it's crap. That is
Can you
crap.
feel it in your fingers?
Yeah. This is big. This is rigged.
Since that was such a quick category, do we want to do one more?
Yeah,
One more,
one
and then
more.
we're done.
Let's guys go, yeah.
Spin the wheel of
Lex needs to go.
chance.
This is it. Double points.
I'm hoping.
This
All
is
right.
the double
This
point.
is the double
Oh, I
point.
thought the last one was.
No,
the-
no,
We didn't
it's
get-
double.
Since it was
What'd you get?
Oh, okay.
What'd you get?
since it was one-sided.
Am I? No, I don't know. It's the most heartwarming moments.
Oh, that's
I
gonna
was-
be a tough
I was
one.
really hoping for
Uh,
quotables.
I know.
I think
Ooh,
Elf
I
has
wanted
a strong
quotables.
argument for quotables.
I think
So,
all the movies
most-
have a song.
most heartwarming moments. I think that's still a good one to end it on for sure. Like
I
with
think
the
it
double
is
points.
too, and it's gonna be definitely people making good arguments.
Yeah.
I think.
Sorry, Ryan.
No. I think Love Actually is
I
gonna
think
win
he
it.
actually
I
has a
mean,
good.
Love
that
Actually
ending-
is gonna win it,
think
The
man.
Love
ending is
Actually
pretty
a
solid.
good-
Yeah.
Not gonna win it.
I think it might win it.
I think it's got a good.
Yeah.
strong chance,
that
really. I think
ending
it
is
does.
very iconic.
Yeah.
That is
So,
very iconic.
did you want to start with Love Actually?
Oh no. I'll pump it up. I'll pump it up.
I'll pump it up. So the Grinch obviously
Yeah.
like is full of these heartwarming moments because it comes down to little Cindy Lou who is trying to find the true meaning of Christmas, and she sees how commercialized it's being and it's all about just buying, and she wants to find the truth behind it. So there's the heartwarming moments where she interacts with the Grinch, where we see the Grinch's background story, where like he's building this ornament for the love of his life, and then of course the end of the Grinch is like one of the biggest heartwarming moments in any movie, any Christmas movie that you can think of, because he literally, his heart warms up literally and grows. So I don't think you can get more heartwarming than that. but his heart grows, what was it, three times?
Three times.
And then he brings all the Christmas gifts back, and he's there with everybody, and there's just all this heartwarming wonderfulness that takes place inside of this little snowflake. And I think the Grinch has a good chance in this category of being a movie with some really big heartwarming
I
moments.
agree.
I gotta say, as a big fan of this movie too, I think one thing that I really enjoyed, even as a kid, that I was able to comprehend, it like it's a deeper message that it's just accessible to kids. But I want to say, like, I really did feel it as a kid, was that self monologue that he's doing, where he's like hearing that they're cheering despite the fact that he stole all the gifts, and he starts talking to himself, and and I think the narrator chimes in on this scene, but it's like he starts talking to himself like, maybe it just wasn't about the presents at all. Like I didn't, I thought these guys were like selfish and materialistic and things like that, but like maybe Christmas is more. I think that self monologue was also really heartwarming because it's some of the first times that he starts making that realization, and
And you definitely see that more in the animated Grinch.
Yeah.
Because in the animated Grinch, they actually all come out and they just like don't care that their gifts are
yeah.
gone.
On this
So
one,
I
they
think
cared a little
the
bit.
live action, they were kind of like, well, look at what you did, blah, blah,
it
blah, blah.
took the Cindy Lou Who's family to kind of be that voice.
Yeah, and so that's what also made it really special in
Yeah.
the live action, is that it really centered around this little girl who was really the one that showed everybody what the true meaning of Christmas really was.
Yeah.
So any movie that pushes the focus that Christmas is not about buying things, I'm already about. So I think Elf did the same thing too.
Yeah.
And it's not about how much you buy. It's not about anything like that. It's about just being with the people that you love and just expressing and
love. Thank you. Thank you. She's just proving a point already. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kristen.
Well, yeah, if that's So it's
Yeah.
about being with people you love. It's
Yeah.
not about how commercialized Christmas, and having worked in retail for 6-7 years, like I before,
No.
it's just you don't like how commercialized it's become. So any story, any movie that pushes this message that it's not about what you buy, it's about who you spend Christmas with and who you surround yourself with, I'm all about. And that was the message in The Grinch. That was the big message there.
All right, I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
Hot dang.
She's so mean.
Yeah.
All right, so time for Christmas Vacation. What I find really special about Christmas Vacation is the John Hughes magic that comes with this movie, because John Hughes as a writer has this knack to create these wacky movies and these wacky and kooky things that take place that aren't really realistic, but then a scene or two later, he'll undercut that with a very realistic, heartwarming, almost heartbreaking sort of background and backstory. But for me, there's 3 scenes that really stick out in Christmas Vacation as being heartwarming. The one I think is the most one is the one where he gets stuck in the attic and he's having
I love that one.
starts watching the family footage from,
With the kids
from
yeah.
1959.
That's
So he's seeing like Christmases of the past, and all of that ties into the fact that he really wants this to be the most memorable Christmas that he was able to do for his family.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is him and his
waiting on that
his
bonus
childhood. Yeah.
and waiting on the bonus. The
Yeah.
bonus that
And I think the other two, which aren't as intense as that one, I mean, because that whole scene is really highlights the fact that it was based on a short story by John Hughes that got published in the magazine a few years before. So that's kind of a neat little Easter egg. But the other 2 scenes I think that really stand out for this one is when the lights finally do work and the family gathers around. It's actually the whole time it's been like this really goofy premise, but when he gets the lights working, it turns into a heartwarming, actually family gathering moment. So they're able to play both sides of the coin with the whole light setup. And last but not least, the very ending, as they're craning out and the whole family's in the yard watching Santa fly over the moon.
Yeah.
I know it sounds stupid, but like that part is really like, it's really touching because like he's like, I finally did it. I finally did the Christmas. So to me, that's the top 3. And that's why, and I've got a close connection to that movie, but I think that because of the attic and the ending of those 2 movies is what gives it a running chance for this category.
It's definitely a lot about family.
Yeah.
Like, like you say, like enjoying who you're spending it with. That's the main thing. And, even though he didn't get the bonus that he wanted, or like the boss was like, "What? We cut bonuses back." It still worked out, and I really, that's a really good film that I watched with my family. I grew up with that. That was great.
What I appreciate about Christmas Vacation too is it's not trying to paint this perfect family. Like they have real life problems, real life drama. Everyone's stressed out. She's smoking in the kitchen. It's the holidays. It's a wonderful time of year, but it's also a very stressful time of year. So it kind of finds that balance. And that's what I really like about it too. So.
Oh, definitely.
So I don't think my film has quite the deep connection as everyone else's, but I still will argue it does have a good takeaway. Like, at the end of the day, at least what I take and make from it is that you shouldn't really be somebody else that you're not. Like, you should really embrace who you are at the end of the day. And he does. So, I mean, it doesn't have quite the deep connection, especially with Christmas. It doesn't have a quote Christmas spirit feeling at the end. But I think overall it has a good takeaway that I think we can, we should all learn from eventually. But it's still in the running, but I don't think it has.
Be yourself. I think the ending scene with them on the mountain or the little hill, like when they finally like realize like, oh, I should just be who I am, and I see you. It's still a heartwarming moment. Is it a Christmas heartwarming moment? No, but it's still a heartwarming moment. So
I will secede to that.
I gotta say here, defending this argument, I guess, love, right? Love and everything. How much love, or what was the, I guess it goes back to like, it makes me think about like, what's the most thing that you've done for a significant other or even a boyfriend or girlfriend? And one of the things is that's still astonishing to me is that one of the guys in here actually learns a whole new language for a woman he just met, but he's wholeheartedly in love. Also, the famous card scene is in here. That famous card scene. That
That's iconic at this point.
And well, I've seen that a few promos and everything for any type of movie, right? But even more so, it's like, it starts off with like, you're so perfect for me. That's one of the, it's very embodiment of like, just we're all, we all human beings in this world, and we all searching for that love. And even starts off saying that, you're searching for love, but if you look for it, it's just from the quote, if you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you're going to find that actually love is all around us. And in the beginning of this movie, they actually show scenes of the airport. And fun fact, the studio actually got random people walking around, hidden cameras, little cameras.
Yeah, because it's from when arrivals, like we're waiting on a
military,
loved one to come
and
in.
it's actual.
And they're scenes.
It's very powerful. That scene is very powerful because you see people that are coming home from the military. They're coming
and
home
they're like embracing their loved ones. Like I haven't seen them in a while. It's really touching. But I would agree. I think Love actually does have an edge on this, because it's not just one story you look at. It's a very collective story.
Yeah, it's definitely very lovable moments. Even more so, like how the one of the girls, they call her fat, even though I don't think she's fat at all, but they just everyone she's it's
a chubby girl.
It's a chubby girl.
Would we call her chubby?
And Hugh Grant's like, I don't know, we call her. Oh no, I don't know. She's
it's funny.
Chubby.
But it's like I think the point of it is it has a lot of
think
like
about American standards.
Exactly.
So it has a lot of stories of different kinds of love. Like you have the love between like Liam Neeson. He has like the little
he just
boy.
lost his wife.
Yeah, his wife, and it was her son. So like it's him, and then he has a love. Like he's like the young love.
Yeah,
of
for
like
his
when
son,
they're like 12.
Yes, it's just there's a lot of love in this movie.
And then you have like
all around,
Alan Rickman's character who he's been married to his wife for like X amount of years. They have 2 kids, perfect life, but then he kind of steps out, and you see like her trying to reconnect in their relationship, and then like
and then more so like Hugh Grant, because he's single. He's the prime minister.
Him finding
he's single.
love.
Everyone's all like, is he gay? Is he like because
he's so like with work? And then like Colin Farrell's character, he like was recently divorced, broke up, and he finds like a new love, and like he says he actually it's like love like with the language barrier, like it's hard for them to communicate, but they still fall in love, and he learns a whole new language for her just to be able to communicate with her.
Yeah, even more so like the guy, the guy with the original song here, love, Christmas all around,
and then
he comes to a fact that when he leaves Elton John's concert, and he's like, I was, I had these young girls. He says it straight up. He's very vulgar in this. I mean, it's very, he's like, I had big ass titty. He says big, big, wonderful women, beautiful women. But I decided that after all these years, which is his manager, that I love you.
Yeah, it's not like a love like that kind of. It's like
gay,
it's
like
friendship.
Yeah, friendship.
Like you've been there with me.
I just realized, and he comes out like it's so good seeing. Like, he comes out saying, "I just realized." At Elton John, he's like, "You go to Elton John, you're gay as a man." Like, he first thinks it's like, but he's like, "No, I just realized that I don't want to spend time with doing drugs, alcohol. I mean, he does bring alcohol, but he's like, I want to spend time with the people I love."
And his manager's been there for him through
all this stuff, and he calls out his manager.
Touching.
Like,
it's really touching. So I think I gotta say,
a lot of different moments, and then you see the kid love in here too. Where like this Liam Neeson's kid becomes like so like he's like loves it. I'm in love is agony,
like young love.
Yeah, young love, and he learns an instrument just to talk to the girl, because the girl's she's a singer, so he wants to connect with her. So it's a lot of like pushing the boundaries of what will you do for love. Yeah, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. Yeah, different kinds of love.
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is quantity over quality.
I know. I was like, well,
it's quality.
I was like,
I'm just even more so. Like, I mean,
I was
just,
like, when you have 20 protagonists, kind of tough.
Like, is it cheating?
I mean, and then even more so, like the whole language thing too. He's, it's that was insane. That was insane to me. I was like, wow,
it's touching how love has like.
It's powerful.
It's so different.
I think it's got a powerful message. It really does. All jokes aside, I really do think love actually has got a powerful message, and you don't have to see it to appreciate it. I've seen not Love Actually, but movies like that where I think it's the same guy that did it.
I think
but there's something special about all these different stories that intertwine, and it's really neat to see.
And it's very real. It's I think it's easy to relate to that type of like emotion and what it does to you, knowing that
because at least everybody in the audience can connect to at least one character.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah,
so I think
Or
know,
and then they even have like the young kids that's like wants to come to America and bang all these women, and he's just like, yeah,
He's like, I can't find love here, so I'm gonna go to America.
yeah, you
It's
know,
like, I'm going to Wisconsin.
girls, yeah, I'm gonna go to Wisconsin. Yeah, he just randomly goes to Wisconsin.
or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was
Yeah.
a random state.
It's just that's just like the the young, yeah.
It's
but-
hard to follow that up, but I am gonna make an argument
All right.
still for my
I
movie.
think Elf has some argument.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elf is also, like I said, I think one of the important messages that I like is just like, what is someone like this super optimistic, super Christmas cheery person, things like that, like what does that person do in the world that we're in? Very realistic and raw. And this is like the final movie, I think, encapsulates a lot of that, because we're finding ourselves with there's some nice little action scene with the Rangers of Central Park and chasing Santa, but Santa, mechanically speaking, he can't run the sleigh anymore because it's been so long that it's run solely off of Christmas cheer, which is sad and a depressive thought altogether. They had to rely on this tech, right? But in a situation where they were in a hoot, like they realized, hey, we have to do something. We have to make people believe in Christmas cheer. And along the whole movie, there was this message of the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. And so Buddy and his family are put to the task where they have to do this. And it's I think Buddy was on the sleigh with Santa running away from the Rangers, but his family, the little brother, I keep thinking it's Michael. I'm hoping it is Michael, but he starts reading the book to kind of make people believe by telling them all the right. And so that's a small step towards that message and what it's trying to convey. But like at that point, what he's kind of doing is just showing what they want, and it's a nice moment. But then you start getting this. There's different scenes to all the people that Buddy kind of impacted. There's the guy at the like the mailbox office that he like hung out with those guys, the little dancing bit. There's the girl that he told Buddy told her like it was gonna be okay while being at the doctor's and stuff like that, eating the cotton candy and all that stuff. It pans to different people, right? And then his family, who has already lived with him and kind of believed in his method to the madness thing, they start singing, and then the entire city of New York starts singing along in Central Park.
I didn't. New York of all places, right?
Christmas Eve. Yeah,
that's not real. Did New York? They're like, you shut up. You shut up.
And you see that a lot of them are hesitant, but they're like, what, we're singing all that stuff. And the last person left is. I think maybe he's Michael. I don't know. There's some Michael in here, but the dad placed by oh man, I'm gonna lose his name. He's in Godfather.
He's in
He's a Godfather.
Oh my God! Why? I'm so sorry, guys. Here, James
King.
Can, James Can.
Ken.
Can or Kane? James Can.
Walter.
James Can. Walter.
Walter.
He's kind of I don't want to say the antagonist to the movie, but he's Buddy's dad. He's been the one that's real corporate world, sells these books, and he's very bitter about the whole thing. He doesn't believe. He's met Santa and he still doesn't really believe. And the whole singing sequence culminates to him. You know what? Fuck it. I'm sorry. Well, he didn't say that.
No, damn. No, PG. Oh,
he's very hesitant. And he's like, you know what? Santa Claus is coming to town, and then the sleigh passes by. It's just this iconic moment. But to me, it was really heartwarming because, the whole city came together for that. The whole city had to believe, and then you can see everyone's reactions to seeing the real sleigh kind of just taking off. Super endearing moment. It's once again a tale about someone impacting each other's lives, kind of taking us out of the day-to-day. And I'd argue even the moment where he decides to tell his boss, F off. He didn't say that once again, but
you could also argue it just takes one person to start cheer.
Exactly.
Betty was that person.
Yeah. And funny enough, I'm not gonna lie, this scene is normally where I do tear up a little bit. I just like it that much. But actually, while I was hunting for stuff, I found that Will Ferrell actually admits that is the part that he actually tears up on the movie as well. So all these years, whenever he gets to rewatch it, he's like, oh yeah, but he tries to hold it back because he doesn't he thinks it's kind of funny you cry at your own film, so he tries to stay off of it. He's like, it'd be kind of douchey if people see that. I don't want people to think, oh, this guy. But yeah, no, there's other moments. I think even just how Zoe Deschanel's character like falls in love with him and all that stuff. That's a little cute too.
I think their whole dating sequence
'cause-
was really
yeah.
heartwarming and cute.
Yeah. So a bunch of heartwarming moments. Once again, it's a message that sticks with me. Just now being an adult, paying taxes and stuff. Like I try to remember, it's
The
family.
better times.
Family is important.
Yeah.
Family is important.
Yeah.
The time and dedication you give to them, right? Because
Damn.
Walter was living a life where he was neglecting like his son, like his wife, and all that stuff, and he lost track of who he was. So yeah, Elf's message is strong. I think this is a hard. I think this is the hardest category.
Very hard.
It's hard to end it on, but
it's hard when they're all Christmas movies because that's kind of the point. Is that Christmas movies have a heartwarming something another about them.
Yeah.
So let's make this easier and start with the ones that we can eliminate from the top 3. No offense to Nightmare Before Christmas, but it doesn't have
I
quite
agree.
those
The sauce.
heartwarming.
I was like, put me in 5th place, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to do that. You guys made such convincing arguments.
So that comes down to The Grinch, Elf, Christmas Vacation, Love Actually. I think Ryan made a great argument. I think Love Actually would definitely be in the
all
top
I
these
still
are
think
good.
it's cheating, but it's strong.
I think all these are good.
I think it's definitely the top 3.
If there was like 5 buddies in the Elf movie, I think all of them went through different things.
I think Love
I thi-
Actually is definitely in the top 3. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
think so too. I think I'm not gonna lie. I still haven't seen Family Vacation, and I'm sorry because a lot of my friends, it's their favorite too.
How offensive,
So,
sir.
I don't want to discount them because of my lack of like seeing the movie. I think
That's
what
fair.
what Frankie highlighted is very important. It plays into the Love Actually, where it's still very raw, very believable. It doesn't rely on this illusion of like legit Christmas, seeing legit Santa for those heartwarming moments. So I want to give it credit for that.
Yeah.
I'm once again super biased in terms of like I really love The Grinch, and that is another movie that I think a lot of those moments got to me as well. So they're all strong. I'm strong about the Elf, but I am soft on the thing where, I understand if it's not top 1, top 2, even if it needs to be bumped
I
out
think-
of 3.
Yeah, I think Love Actually and The Grinch would be up there. So we haven't put them in order yet.
Yeah.
But they're top 3. So the question is between Elf and Christmas Vacation, which ones have the most heartwarming? Which they're both very heavily comedies.
Yeah, they had to balance.
Can we
that for sure.
I guess can we vote on that
I'm so
since we're
sorry.
not an even number? I think we can vote on
Yeah.
who would not be
So
to
I don't know though.
Look at this guy.
I mean, I'm just
leading the charge over here.
I do politics.
I'm holding I'm holding the axe.
So I think we should vote.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
so we narrowed it down.
Yeah.
So between Elf and Christmas Vacation, that's the question. Which
Okay.
one goes in the top 3?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to ask this.
I would. So before we do that, I
was
would
gonna say,
make
last-minute
I would
arguments.
make the argument that Christmas Vacation has more heartwarming moments than The Grinch. I think The Grinch, it does have its moment, but then again you have Jim Carrey coming in and upstaging himself at the very end, so I think it underplays it
Well,
a little bit.
I wouldn't just focus on that. I would also focus on all the Cindy Lou Who scenes where she's trying to figure out what Christmas is, where she goes and she interviews the grandmothers or the adopted parents, and they're telling their little story. I think there's a lot of like
Okay,
other
that's fair.
heartwarming moments besides the end. The end is just the big finale.
That's true because it's not just the ending; it's heartwarming.
Yeah.
moments throughout. Okay.
I would give Christmas Vacation the edge over Elf.
Mm-hmm.
I think Elf has a lot of heart. I think Elf has that big moment at the end.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a lot of like Buddy being treated like crap and like.
So as far as
Unfortunately.
this category goes, it's 5th for Night Before Christmas, and then you're so it's
I would
Now
put,
we're deciding.
I would
fourth.
put Elf
Yeah.
in 4th because, like you said, like the heartwarming moments are also centered around the idea of Christmas magic.
Mhm.
And I think Christmas Vacation has the edge because it has those moments
Yeah.
that are true and genuine to a family and the love that
Yeah.
that family has.
so
Network.
let's,
What were y'all voting?
let's vote. Let's vote.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
So
do
my
this.
vote is
Well,
Christmas
what's your
Vacation
argument?
Christmas Vacation.
Or this is for third place.
for 3rd place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third.
Yeah, I think you made a fair argument. I would vote Christmas Vacation third
Okay.
place.
Okay.
Angela,
I
Elf or Christmas Vacation.
guys made such a good argument. I'd probably put Elf on 3rd.
Okay, I'm biased because I'm very picky when it comes to what's his name?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, very picky. I'm gonna have to do Christmas Vacation.
All
Yeah.
right. Looks like
He's one of them.
Oh.
He's one of them.
He's one of them. You're one of them.
Just because Christmas Vacation, because I grew up watching.
You're picky with Will Ferrell, but okay, what side of the pickiness is Elf on? Is like on the good side or the bad side?
No, it's still a good. It's an okay movie. I just don't like how his out.
He went
his
from
out-
good to okay.
His
Like, real quick.
outwards were like sad. Like I just don't. I mean, it's
Oh,
kind of
that's so funny,
it's kind
though.
of. I know
Whoa.
it just it is. You know, it's
iconic.
just not my type of comedy. I'm more so the family oriented side of it. Which if we're comparing the two
Literally,
movies.
Elf
No,
is
but
about
it
family.
is, but it's again.
He's
we go-
there
Why
with-
does-
no, I
He's there
know,
right now, and
I
he found
know.
his dad.
But it's you know like I always told you what happens more real and it's you know North Pole's not real. The realism behind it is more national. You know it's gonna be Christmas Vacation.
It's okay. It's okay.
I love the flaws. I love the brother-in-law. He's funny. I mean, you know, it just I enjoy that.
I really wish.
I'm laughing more in the Christmas Vacation than I am in.
I haven't seen it, so once again, I'm abstaining from even voting.
Oh my God! What the? Yeah, oh, that's right. You
Yeah,
did say
I
that.
did.
Oh, yeah.
so.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
if it had been quotables, guys, y'all are a bunch of cotton-headed movie
It was quotable.
I mean,
I wish you could put up a good argument for quote.
Yeah.
But,
Just 'cause it's
I would
Jim
do
Carrey,
Vacation.
yeah,
I would say
One.
Vacation.
I would say
First place
Vacation.
all day.
Now, yeah. So now we need to
Quotables?
vote for which one comes in first, Love Actually or The Grinch.
I would do Love Actually because again, it shows different forms of love.
It's hard for
I
me
know,
to say
it's
because I
hard to
haven't.
because
I haven't seen
seen
it.
it.
I will say,
We're the only two to see
But-
it.
I made a good argument though.
Yeah, it was
I
a
feel like
pretty
that movie
solid
probably does have
But
more.
once again, if there was like 5 Grinches, each of them coming around to love,
I mean, they could afford it. They had a budget of $100 and something million. But I only had 40.
they could not have afforded 5 Jim Carreys.
No. What
Oh.
I'm saying was that like they could have. If
Yeah.
they could have.
Yeah,
they
I
could
think
afford it.
they
could have had an Eddie Murphy Grinch. They
I
could have had it.
no,
No,
I haven't seen it.
Grinch
Just the
verse.
same way that the
Grinch
Grinch,
verse,
the same way that the Grinch is
Yeah.
like
Well,
heartwarming.
there was a rumored cameo that was actually going to be in the movie. Was the Cat in the Hat was supposed to be in that
would've
movie?
been, that would have been funny.
That would have been funny.
Well, but there's just the same way that the Grinch has a strong, heartwarming engine with not just the Grinch
Yeah.
but Cindy Lou Who and things like that.
Right.
I think Love Actually just having all those characters.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a message. It's also true to real life, and I think it's what most of us will experience as Christmas in terms of reality and all that stuff. I think it makes a strong argument for one.
I agree. So I think Love Actually goes in first, The Grinch in second, Christmas Vacation in third.
No,
So
yeah,
are
I
you ready
agree,
for the final score?
We
Yeah.
are.
That was with double the points.
Oh, so that
I'm kind of curious. I still think Grinch
That's-
kind of went on top.
I don't think I still won though because I was still behind.
But he
I was
was
far
to me like
behind.
top
I mean,
three.
that probably boosted it pretty good.
Yeah. I hate to say it. So this is
Just the chance of the wheel,
because
baby.
of the chance of the categories. This is not like we're putting these in order of which one's the best, the worst. They're all amazing. And it really came down to just the categories that we randomized, completely random.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Christmas Vacation lands in 5th place with
Damn.
5 points.
Ouch.
And I hate that because Christmas Vacation
Ouch.
is a wonderful
It's so
movie.
good. Yeah. Ouch.
well,
it
you
just-
said it. All these are wonderful.
It's just
It's,
the,
Yeah, it's
it's
tough.
the luck of the
It's
wheel.
tough.
the
Yeah.
categories.
Yeah.
That was good though. I like that. That was pretty good.
You
Solid.
do love that, huh?
Nah. Yeah, this is good.
You
Yeah.
would like
You
that.
Ryan, you're just lucky that we did double the points.
Oh,
'Cause
I
otherwise, you
voted
would have been
that.
in 5th place.
I know.
You had like no chance. You went on the scoreboard once.
Yeah.
You just got lucky at the end.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you would have been in
I'm
5th
just
place.
saying, I was happy it wasn't quotables because that would have been tough. Yeah, quotables because there's a lot of quotables in Elf and in Christmas Vacation.
Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation.
And Grinch.
Oh, and
That would've
well,
been hard.
If yours, all of them.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
quotables would have been a
yeah.
lot more harder.
That would have been
Oh
interesting
yeah.
too, though, to argue.
I'm just sitting in Throne and Lies. You smell like bad cheese or something. I forget that one exactly, but their shirts about like the cotton headed
Yeah.
muggins. There's
There's a steak in my boots.
it's me. I'm your son. Oh no, wait.
Actually, look, I just kind of redid the score. So actually, still Christmas Vacation would have landed in 5th place if we did without the double the points.
Oof.
So Christmas Vacation.
Why don't you tell him that?
exactly.
Why'd you tell Ryan?
It would have been by 1 point. I was
No,
saying.
still counts.
So
He's
in
gonna
fourth
run that
place,
forever now.
in fourth place, and this is only because we doubled the scores. This one would have been different if we did not double
Yeah,
the
I
scores.
know.
Elf,
Okay, thank you for
Elf landed in fourth place with 6 points. Love Actually lands in third place with 8 points. Would have been fifth if we, or 5 points if we didn't double it. Nightmare Before Christmas lands in second place with 10 points.
Barely.
And How the Grinch Stole Christmas lands in first place with 13 points, or it would have been 11 without the double. So it still would have won.
Yeah, you were
first
lucky.
place.
You were lucky.
You know,
I
the
respect
Grinch
that.
has been criticized for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
we get recognition.
It gets to get a win today.
Yeah,
So I think that's pretty awesome.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it was the number one in the
yeah.
gross box.
Yeah,
office
it does
too.
have that.
It won. I think it won in other areas too. But
Which is funny.
I mean,
So
it's the only one that on this table that's won an Oscar. Only
Yeah,
film,
that's
only
true.
film.
oh, that's true.
It won. I'm not sorry.
Really?
That
So
one.
Nightmare
not
Before
two.
Christmas didn't win any Oscars at all.
I think it was like best visual.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Best
Best visual. There you go.
visual
I'm sorry.
effect.
Not
Okay.
one Oscar, not two, but 3 Oscars. It won.
Yeah.
oh, see,
Grinch.
That-
No,
you see
you.
that?
Your
There you
movie.
go.
Grinch.
Yours.
Grinch.
That's
Dude,
so weird
yeah.
though. Like
she only
to-
won what?
to
She only
still
won-
have
yeah.
that Rotten Tomatoes score. Like it's
Yeah.
so weird.
I
It's
know.
like
People just hate
people
on
just
it.
hate on it for no reason.
the wrong people woke up that day.
I agree.
No, it's because they weren't ready for the humor. That's why they weren't ready. America wasn't ready for that kind of
Jim
humor.
Carrey's a visionary.
So
Yes.
if you
It's a
agree with our
Canadian,
scores,
good Canadian kid.
hopefully you agree with our scores. Those are watching and know you agree. If not, you could always check out the Nerd Coliseum. Shameless plug, because we have our own tournament that we have done with the Christmas Vacation, Elf, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Home Alone was our edition. So we have
It's not a good
those
one.
4 movies that are going up against each other. So the outcome is a little bit different there. So I hope you go and check it out and see which one of your movies came in first place in
Yeah.
our Coliseum, in our little game. So we have one last game before we say goodbye, and that is going to be 3 truths or 4.
3 truths and a lie.
3 truths and a lie.
All right.
Make it harder.
So the way this
Yeah.
game works is Frankie is going to read 4 cinematic sentences, cinematic facts. One of these facts is going to be false.
A
So
Hollywood
we-
hoax,
and
baby.
it's
need to
about these
find-
movies.
It's each statement is about one of the movies
Okay,
that we
okay.
talked
Oh,
about.
okay, cool.
So we need to figure out which one of these statements is the lie.
This is me fun.
All right, Frankie, whenever you're ready.
All right, so just oh wait,
Thank you. You're good.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm yanking your cord away. Just as a disclosure, so I didn't really fact check these, so hopefully they're correct. We just whipped these off the internet real
All right.
quick, right
Sounds
before
good.
we're going
Let's
on.
go.
They seem pretty accurate to me, so I think it's pretty good. All right, so the first statement from Elf. Buddy's 12-second belch was not performed by Will Ferrell, but by a voice actor, Maurice LaMarche, known for his work on Pinky and the Brain.
I think that's true.
True.
Yeah,
True,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see that.
I don't see how Will Ferrell could do that on set, like on demand, like that.
Yeah,
I
He
feel
was
like
on SNL for a long time. He probably did some weird stuff.
That's true.
So was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but could Will Ferrell sit there and do a fake burp for that long?
And do
'Cause that
multiple
sounded pretty.
cuts.
Those sound like a pretty professional burp.
Maybe not.
It took a trained belter to do that.
Yeah.
All right, statement number 2 for the Nightmare Before Christmas. It was so time-consuming to shoot that it took an entire week to complete 1 minute of film, given the detailed stop-motion animation process.
That's
I
probably
bel-
true.
I believe it.
More
'cause
likely
it took
because of the
like
time of year.
yeah, because I read
94.
facts and it was like it took like 18 months just
Yeah.
to film it
Yeah.
with
I
like
mean-
120 people on crew.
Yeah, even that one movie we saw, which is by that oh my god, it's with Bill Murray, the animation of the dogs. Dogs.
Oh, Island
Dogs.
Dogs,
Oh
yeah.
man, it's so fantastic movie. And the stop motion, we looked at behind the scenes. I was like, dude, this is patience.
Long.
Yeah.
This is patience, man.
Yeah.
And like making
I
it
just
work.
remember the.
Yeah.
Do you remember the iCarly? Do you guys watch iCarly?
Yeah.
Where the
Oh,
Spencer's trying to
yeah.
make a stop motion.
Yeah.
And it gets all ruined up.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's true.
Yeah, that's
All right.
true.
Statement number 3. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the snow in Whoville was made from a unique blend of shaved coconut and powdered sugar so that it could be edible on screen and so that it would look more whimsical.
At least it wasn't asbestos.
Like a Wizard of Oz,
Wizard
just
of Oz.
dropped asbestos on
Yeah.
people.
I don't
I
remember.
feel like that's not true. I feel like powdered sugar would be sticky.
If it's wet?
Like I know it wasn't.
Well, powdered sugar is what they put on the beignets. So picture
I
Oh,
that.
know, but
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It would be sticky.
No, but it's
if
not-
it gets wet, it gets sticky.
Especially if you have it like on you.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to the last one. This one's on a maybe for
This one's
me.
a my. I agree with you.
All
Yeah.
right. Ready
So
for the
pretty-
last one?
Yeah.
pretty-
what's
I
up?
feel it's
Cheap.
not real snow, but maybe the ingredients are.
Yeah.
something
Yeah, I don't think
different.
those are the ingredients. I don't feel like why would the snow need to be edible? Because I'm trying to think. I was like, I don't remember a scene where someone's eating the snow.
I mean, it makes it more.
Well, no,
whimsical.
oh no, he was eating glass. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
So I think
All right,
that
well,
one might
we'll
be the
wait.
false
Well,
one. Okay,
yeah.
let's see.
He
the last
actually
one.
ate glass. That's one of the.
All right. And this is the last statement. Statement number 4. Love Actually was not originally intended to be a Christmas movie. The holiday theme was added later to tie the multiple storylines together more cohesively.
I kind of believe.
I
that.
believe it. I
Yeah.
believe it. Yeah,
That's
I
what-
believe it.
Which for
Okay.
it to get second place and it was an afterthought.
Here we go, here we go, man.
It
Here we
probably
go.
shouldn't be here.
Yeah, here we
He
go.
got third place.
Yeah.
Damn!
here we
Afterthought
go.
Christmas
Oh, that's
movie
right.
gets third
Yeah,
place.
here we go.
So I'm gonna go with the snow.
Yeah,
snow-
I'll go with the
I think
snow.
that's a
Snow.
fake
I'll
one.
go with snow.
Good job, everybody.
You
Good job,
got
it.
everybody.
You got it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
apparently that is false. The snow and the Grinch was not made out of coconut or powdered sugar.
Yeah,
I
those
did.
don't get
I
really
did see that
sticky.
the Grinch that the set is actually right behind the Bates Hotel. They filmed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
tell that story.
Yeah.
It's actually a funny story. I was doing it was like a few years ago. I was doing the Hollywood tour on the back lot at Universal in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And yeah, they take you right by the Psycho Motel first. And it's really pristine from when I saw it. They like kept it up really well. They still got the car out there and it all looks nice.
Damn.
And they're all like talking all these cool facts. Like, oh wow, that is the Psycho set. That is so cool. And then you drive around and the guy's like, and on to your left, this is the set from the Grinch. And you look, it's covered in leaves and it's just like nobody, it's like faded in the sun. Nobody cares about it. And I was like, geez, there's like a stark difference from like a movie. Like Psycho came out in 1960. So that set's been sitting there
Yeah.
forever, looking beautiful. And then this set just like,
No one cares.
nobody
Lo-
cares.
Lost in time.
Yeah.
And there's the Grinch.
Wow.
That makes me mad.
Oh, it was covered in leaves, like just stacks of leaves.
Wow.
How
Don't
dare
care.
they? How dare they?
They don't care. They don't care no more. But yeah. But alrighty. Was that it for today?
Yeah,
That's
I
all
think
we got,
so.
buddy.
Awesome. All right. Well, once again, guys, thank you so much for making us a part of your day, and thank you for sticking with us. If you did check out our this channel, whether it's during the night, maybe it's a different time of day, put in comments down below. We'll try to respond to them as soon as we can and everything. And yeah, question is for you guys: what is your favorite Christmas movie? Put on comments down below, guys. What is your favorite Christmas movie ever, or maybe just of this year? Maybe something you recently watched. Put on comments down below because we love talking movies here in the Movie Talk Studios. As always, I am your host Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
This was like
I'm Kristen with the Nerd Coliseum.
Hey, I'm Frankie.
I'm Angela.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you later.
Merry Christmas.